Hello, everybody, and welcome. How's everybody doing? I assume you are having a fantastic day. Today, we want to talk about everybody's favorite topic, Palestine.
Hey, first I thought you were Destiny. Now I think you're one of these LGBT college free Palestine queers for Palestine. What are you?
I can't even really decide what I am. I
Okay.
kind of just put these things on randomly, and then I thought, I was stuck on, I don't know, maybe I'm Destiny, but then I thought I'm just one of those stupid students. I don't know.
That's funny. Putting on a costume that could be a couple different things and just not being sure yet and having to
Yeah.
decide later.
I haven't yet made a decision on what exactly I am. I will have to figure this out.
Hey, but look, guys, we're live and it's early for you British people since this is about you.
Indeed.
This one's about you, peoples.
Yes, I specifically wanted to do this at this time so that we can talk about British people and how terrible British people are, how terrible Britain is, how terrible it's going to be,
Yeah.
and so on. All of these beautiful.
We're gonna call it not so great Britain the entire time.
Yes.
We're gonna be calling it subpar Britain.
Subpar.
Crap hole Britain. Something like that. 50 Apostate Prophet memberships. Gosh, man, you've already been given 50, 70,
I don't know what's happening here. I think Mars Incoming is like an
80
account
memberships.
that is being run by Mossad, because the other day I was live. I think it was yesterday, and Mars Incoming gifted like 300 memberships or so, and now Mars Incoming just keeps gifting memberships. So this might be not a real person. It might be a Mossad account, doing this on behalf of them.
Might be a way of transferring the shekels. We're always looking for creative ways to transfer the shekels to us.
Yes, indeed.
You want the yarmulkes on, you got to give the shekels.
I am just looking for something that I wanted to bring up, which I can't find at the moment. But I saw Black Angel. I bet you're watching, aren't you? I hope you're watching. Black Angel, if you're
Black
watching.
Angel, you there?
And you tagged me in something which I can't find anymore right now, which was some guy, some patriotic person from Britain responding to Mohammed Hijab and saying enough is enough. So I would like to bring that up as well at some point.
Yep. Yes, Black Angel's here. Black Angel is here.
Okay.
Black Angel, he needs whatever you sent him earlier.
Yes, yesterday.
You got a super chat from Gay P.
Gay P. Yes, Slay Queen, free Palestine. Yes, I remember. How could I ever forget? How could I ever forget?
When we first saw that, we're like, how did no one come up with that like 5 years ago?
Yeah. Well, so as a queer gay person, I am very, very much pro-Palestine, and I want nothing but freedom for Gaza, especially because I would be totally safe in Gaza, considering that, as Crusader here pointed out, there are no tall buildings left in Gaza, so I would be totally fine. I wouldn't be thrown off.
Yeah, you can walk in there. All those tall buildings are now gone, and you could just walk in there and be like, checkmate, jihadis, I'm here, and I'm fabulous.
Fabulous. Also, free Palestine. And down with Zionism and El Israel. And we are always for freedom and inclusivity and tolerance and love. And by the way, down with the Jews. What a stupid world. All right, anyway, let's be serious here for a second.
Yeah, we got to be serious. This is a serious show, ladies and gentlemen. Serious show.
Yeah, get the hell out of
here. We watch things and we refute them. That's what we do. We're dead serious. This is not a joke. This is not a joke, brothers.
This is not a joke, brothers and sisters. So,
you think this is a joke? You think this is a game? You think this is Logic the Gathering?
I think that soundbite. There was a soundbite of Yasser Qadhi saying, "This is not a joke, brothers and sisters."
Not a joke, brothers and sisters.
I need to put it on my soundboard. How could I not do
But,
that? I used that in my
but
video.
in context, he's talking about how the Ahruf and Kirat and stuff caused doubt even among Muhammad's followers and so on.
Yes.
And it would cause doubt even among Muslims. And that's why you got to like hide it from them and stuff like that. And then in the midst of all this, this is not a joke, brothers and sisters.
You're hiding, boy. You're hiding.
So, yes, we're going to talk about some really, really messed up things. One of those is already on the screen, and people have seen what was on the screen. And that is
Oh, I thought you meant us. I was like, what?
that too. But aside from that, so we have this tweet here by Bushra Sheikh. Now, Bushra is not just a random person, a nobody who is an anonymous person. This is actually someone who is somewhat known, and she is a
I see her name all the time.
yeah, she's a commentator and on a TV personality, and she was also on The Apprentice for some weird reason, which is a TV show. And she was I think she still is a news commentator. If you look at her bio here, for example, it says Queen B, which probably stands for Queen Bullshit or something like that. CEO, social political commentator, TV newspaper seen on Good Morning Britain, Talk TV, and BBC. And then she also founded a thing called Run Racism Out, which is very, very funny. Very funny. Because, well, she just made that tweet. She doesn't actually look like this. Her videos are for some reason heavily filtered, which is very interesting. But she made this very, very bad tweet, which went. Actually, we should look at this one as well later on, in a little bit. Which went here. If you don't like Muslims in Britain, then you can always leave. This is only one of those instances where a Muslim person makes a post telling people, British people who don't like Islam and who don't want to accept Islam and who don't like the overpopulation from Muslim crowds to just leave. Isn't this kind of weird? A while ago, it was all just when it was suggested that there is a takeover taking place, that there's going to be soon a boom of Muslim population and Islam taking over and things like that. It was all like, no, don't be ridiculous, don't be paranoid, don't be a conspiracy theorist. It's
no,
just
it was beyond that. It was don't be racist, don't be an Islamophobe, don't be a bigot, don't be a yeah. And then in addition to all this stuff you were just saying.
Yes, and not going to happen anyway. We're just going to take in a bunch of Muslims, and then they will just adapt and assimilate, and they will just see how wonderful our society is, and they will just adjust, because that's what people knew, and we are no different. They are no different from us. All cultures are the same, and if we just invite them, all of them in, and we treat them very, very well, they will be just like us in just one generation. And now you have entire neighborhoods that are turning into Muslim neighborhoods. You have entire cities that are turning into Muslim cities, and now you are being told, hey, if you don't like this, how about you just leave? So this is basically a Muslim Pakistani woman who is here due to immigration telling white British people, hey, how about just get out of here? This is our country now. And we are at a very early stage probably, but
yeah, this is still very early on. Like I'm sitting there looking and I'm going, wow, she's admitting it this early? You should have waited like another 5 years. Should have waited a little. Like people jump the gun. And it's always like, gosh, dude, if you'd waited another 5 or 10 years, it would have, before letting the cat out of the bag. Interesting.
And
I think they're all in like such a big frenzy over the October 7th stuff still going on and thinking that they're going to control what goes on there by tantrums and Twitter. And then it's not working. And so, but they're still in like super aggressive mode. So they're just kind of blurting out what they're actually thinking, not realizing if they were in a less aggressive, more calm state, they'd be thinking more clearly and thinking, let's let the cat out of the bag on this one later, little later, once a little further down the road.
That's right. That's right. That's what we'll do. That's what they always do. So
I'm just saying, Bushra, tactically, you're saying this too early. You're saying this too early. You're letting the cat out of the bag. You're helping people who are saying that's what you're doing. They're trying to take us over, and they're gonna want to kick us out. They're gonna force us to be subjugated and stuff. And everyone else for the past 2 decades, politicians, the media, they've all been saying, "Oh no, you're a complete lunatic. You're a fringe conspiracy nut job, Islamophobic lunatic." If you're saying those things, now you guys are saying them. Now you guys are saying, it's like for years when we said there's a death penalty for apostasy in Islam, and you called us liars, and the average person heard us, what? The Muslims are saying you're liars. See, you're lying. And then all of a sudden you start admitting it when you didn't have to admit it. Like with Daniel Hakikachu, with Daniel Hakikachu and all these guys, and they're in Ali Dawa, and they're admitting, yeah, we are going to kill these guys. Yes, we can't wait to kill people like the Apostate Prophet. They're admitting it. They're admitting it. What 10 years earlier, the guys were calling us liars for saying. And then all of a sudden, these guys admit it because they think they're in a position, but they don't realize they're allowing us to expose the Dawa community as liars. And it was completely unnecessary. But Ali Dawa did not need to start saying, yeah, we're going to kill you as soon as we get. It's going to be eating the popcorn and watching you get killed. He's been emboldened by situations. But in this bit of time that we have right now, he's made it much easier for us to say, hey, this is what they're planning, because you guys admitted it. Now people can't call us nuts. They can't call us insane. They can't call us Islamophobes for saying it, because you're the one saying it. Now we're just telling them what you say. So on the one hand, thank you, but I think you jumped too soon. I think it just backfired on you.
It just backfired on you. What am I looking at, man? Not funny.
That's funny.
Hey, guys.
That would.
I like this account. It's a good parody account, but I didn't expect this here with the sunglasses.
Hey, you know what I'd like to see?
What?
Nakba Nancy and Crackhead Barney in a debate.
That would be funny. Well, these people like Bushra are getting emboldened not just by certain things that are going on around the world right now, but also because of developments in demographic representation, political representation, and so on. So here's, I'm not sure if you have seen the recent elections that took place in the UK, the mayoral elections, but we now have a bunch of Muslim people, bunch of Islamist people actually joining politics and having a say. And here's Muhsin Ali, who's just been elected as a councillor in the Leeds area, where he dedicated his win for Palestine, in quotation marks. Thank you, Tommy, for doing that. This is what him and his cronies think of the country, people, and area that he was elected to represent.
I've got none. I really have nothing to say apart from shame on this country. Shame on the Western governments who've allowed...
Shame on the Western! Shame on the Western!
Shame on the Western?
Wait, this guy's a politician?
Yes. With the dress and all that.
Shame on this country! Death to the West! Death to this country!
Imagine you get elected, and instead of saying, thank you, I want to thank everyone who made this possible, and together we will make things better.
Country.
No, his reaction is, well, first off, I want to say, shame on this country, shame on the West.
To America! Death to America! Death to the great Satan! Allahu Akbar!
Yeah.
Shame on you! 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 Shame on you!
Yeah. So these are some of the beautiful people that were recently elected to now be represented in governments. Here he is again. Wait a minute. What is this about? This is the same man who was elected last night and late and shouted Allahu Akbar after his victory. Britain needs to wake up before it's too late. Let's see what this says.
They're going to use the pretext. So right at this very minute, Israel has launched one of the biggest attacks against the civilian population that we've seen for many years. Now, they're going to use the pretext of the fight back by Hamas fighters, or supposedly Hamas fighters, this morning. Now, remember the situation in Palestine, and especially the situation in Gaza. It's an open-air prison. It's the biggest concentration camp the world has ever seen.
Australia is the biggest open-air prison. Australia is the biggest open-air prison. Stop lying.
It's a huge concentration camp, and it was in a terrible situation, of course. Then they had no other choice besides breaking out of that open-air prison and then killing and raping and torturing and setting things on fire and so on. And of course, unfortunately, in response to that, Israel, as deceptive and as bad as Israel is, used those attacks to then, fight back. Shameful, absolutely disgraceful. So this is the guy. But wait, there is more. There's also this here.
Hey, by the way, Black Angel responded to you on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I saw. Thank you, Black Angel. I'll have a check.
We will not be silent. We will raise the voice of Gaza. We will raise the voice of Palestine.
Did he say we will rape the boys of Palestine?
Yeah, he said we will rape the boys of Palestine.
He just said we'll rape the boys of Palestine.
Yeah. He said we will not be silenced. We will rape the boys of Palestine. That's what he said.
Go back and let him say that. This guy's yelling, "We will rape the boys of Palestine." Listen close.
We will not be silent. We will raise the voice of Gaza. We will raise the voice of Palestine. Allahu Akbar.
We will rape the boys of Palestine. Allahu Akbar. What a sicko, man. This guy just got elected and he's talking about raping little boys of Palestine.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's on about, but so he gets elected, and then on the one hand he wants to support, he wants to dedicate this to Palestine. On the other hand, he says we will rape the boys of Palestine. I don't know why. This is very, very sick, very weird.
Hey,
this is the Green Party.
You see this? Hey, you see this? This is just breaking. So I went on Twitter just to check, look for response from Black Angel, and then
what
I see
now? Athens
hotel siege. Arab mob targets Israeli tourists. In a shocking turn of events, a violent mob stormed a hotel in Athens, Greece, targeting a group of Israeli tourists in what has been described as an Arab lynch mob incident. This incident, which unfolded on May 7, 2024, hey, that's today, has sparked widespread concern and condemnation, with authorities working to restore order and ensure the safety of all involved. Riot police were deployed to the scene using tear gas to disperse the crowd. The situation remains tense as the international community reacts to this targeted attack on the Israeli tourists, highlighting the need for unity and peace in the face of such diversity. So apparently, Jews are not safe anywhere they go in the world. What's this right here?
Stop Islamophobia now. Breaking news. There's an incident of rioters trying to break into a hotel in Athens, Greece, where a group of
We heard you have some Jews in here. Give us your Jews.
The local police
Little Greeks, let us in. We want your Jews. Can you imagine that, like, for our entire lifetimes, the worst thing you could be is a Nazi, and we're all like reminded, hey, Jews got to a point where they're like hiding from the Nazis who are hunting them down. And here you are, this is Greece, and Jews are hiding in a hotel from the mob, the Muslim mob that's trying to get at them. This is nuts, man.
There's something that we have been saying, or that some people have been saying to, especially in America, to secular Jews, leftist Jews, and others for quite a while now, which is you of all people should stop being naive and stop being stupid, or European secular
Yeah.
Jews. You of all should stop being stupid. If you somehow find yourselves on the left and think, oh, I'm going to go the liberal progressive path, fine, yeah, cool. But if you are going to then be like, oh, and I am also, by the way, totally for against bigotry, against Islamophobia, aside from anti-Semitism, which that doesn't make any sense. Islam is the most anti-Semitic, one of the most anti-Semitic ideologies that you can encounter in this wide world out there. If you are going to advocate for more recognition and more respect for Islam and more immigration from Muslims, from Islam in general, from the Islamic world, what you are going to do as a result is just to endanger your own safety, endanger your own lives. I see a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are realizing that their support for these leftist policies was very, very misguided, and they are seeing the consequences of all of that now. But see this, see what is happening. There is some context here about Greece, about Athens. Greece is, because it is considered the first European country after after Turkey, which basically serves as a bridge. The refugee crisis brought a lot of immigrants, a lot of refugees over the bridge, over the borders into.
Wait, who just entered the live stream?
I don't know. Just brought them into Europe, and lots of Greek people have been outraged, have been angry about how these refugees are just being let in, not being stopped, and so on. And they were looking for a solution. And you think about this. You have these people, people of Middle Eastern origin, refugees who supposedly come to Europe, who supposedly come to Greece, to Athens, in order to continue to a different place where they want to live a good life, because back there, apparently, things are very, very bad. Instead of being thankful, right? Instead of saying thank you, we are very grateful for the opportunity to stay here and live in peace and live a better life, they become immediately ungrateful, want better standards, want more opportunities, want more money, want to live in luxury. And on top of that, what they also do is to immediately turn this new paradise. Athens is a beautiful place. This new paradise that they found into the shithole, into the terrorist breeding factories that they just came from, that they fled, and then want to attack non-Muslims and want to attack Jews. I have a lot of things on my mind right now that I just better keep to myself.
Yeah, they're I think they're jumping the gun and being stupid here, because Greeks go hard, man. Greeks go hard.
Greeks are not very happy about the European Union and their entrance into the European Union.
Yeah, Greeks are in a different category from like the French and so on. Like the French, I mean, you can just go around burning their cities to the ground, and they'll sit back and wait for police to regain control. If Greeks get ticked off enough, Greeks will form a giant mob. I've seen it. It was over something completely different, because I was there in the 90s, and the U.S. had military bases in Greece. So there was Suda Bay, Crete, there was Heraklion, and so on. And a myth would spread that the U.S. had nuclear bombs there and so on their bases, which they didn't. But the Greeks were just mad that all the hot Greek girls were marrying these U.S. military guys, because they wanted to go to the U.S. and stuff like this. So all these U.S. military guys are going to the clubs and picking up the hottest Greek chicks and marrying them. And so in response, the Greeks started saying, they've got nuclear bombs and they're storing nuclear bombs to get us into a nuclear war. And they would just start ripping stuff to pieces and so on. And even sometimes just forming a mob and attacking dudes and so on. So yeah, they still go hard. They still go hard if you tick them off enough.
This news is Hamas executes 3 Gaza civilians for stealing humanitarian aid before they could.
Yeah. So if you go for the food, you get shot. If they go for the food so they could take it so you don't have it, then they're the good guys.
Just a few days ago, we had footage of it was everywhere. We had footage of Hamas just sitting on top of the aid trucks and with guns and shooting warning shots at citizens, at people.
Man, that's straight up like that's the beginning of Black Hawk Down, where it's Somalia and like the aid shipment would go there and people would like starving people run up to try and get some, and then like the warlord shows up, starts firing machine guns. This is ours.
Israeli businessman was killed by an Egyptian man in Egypt, Alexandria. And look at the comments. I expected it very, very much. An Israeli businessman was killed by an Egyptian young man in Alexandria. You mean by a hero? This sort of thing must stop immediately. Not very popular. Is this the beginning of the world's hate to Israel?
Never
there are no
disclose
innocents in
the
Israel.
nationality of the attacker.
Another one bites the dust. Did
There
the
are no
Israeli businessman
innocents in
try to
Israel.
steal this house? Egyptian young hero. I hope my Egyptian bro is in good health. See, there's always some good news. A hero.
Guys,
Israel
keep in
harvest
mind,
they played and planned in Gaza.
guys, look at what they're celebrating. They're celebrating. Here's just this is a Jewish businessman. He's in the area. Just go kill him. And they all, yay!
Muslims, do you want to be treated like this in the world?
Yeah,
Muslims,
because
Arabs,
anytime
you want to be treated like this in the world?
Yeah, anytime we so much as criticize Islam, you start screaming, "Oh, the whole world is bigoted and racist and Islamophobic." And meanwhile, you're, "Yay, kill any Jew, doesn't matter what he's got to do with anything, kill him, kill him, kill him."
Claps. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Humanity. Wow, what great news. Muslims, do you also want to be treated like this in the world? In response to everything that is happening out there, in response to any offense that comes from Islamists, from Islamic parties, Islamic people, do you also want Muslims everywhere in the world to be targeted and killed as a response to stuff like this? Because apparently that's how you think things should go. Apparently that's how you think this should work. Good. Congratulations. What a hero. You see this, right? It's like the next moment they will deny that they are like this, and they will say, "Oh no, this is just about defense. It's just about Zionism and this and that." But then we are at this stage already where any Israeli man, any Jewish person, if they are killed, it is justified and celebrated by these people as something good. It's not about Gaza. It's not about Hamas. It's not about Israel fighting back. You can't just this quickly make such a big generalization and start celebrating every single Israeli or Jewish death. I mean, you see it. You go into the comment sections here, and the majority are approving of it and celebrating it and calling the murderer a hero. Is this the kind of world that you people want to live in? Is this the world that everybody else also wants to live in? I mean, is this really something that we should be accepting as normal for the world, for the future? Is this how societies should be run, where Israelis or Jews are just randomly targeted and killed, and people are justifying this and celebrating it because of Israel? What if we turn this around? What if we targeted and killed Muslims everywhere? Would that be okay? And why not? want to say it.
We will not be silent. We will raise the voice of Gaza.
We will raise the boys of Gaza.
Allahu Akbar.
Where's this guy from, and why doesn't he go back to his shithole where he can do these?
I don't know,
things
but
at home?
anyone who's talking about raping the boys of Gaza should not be winning elections.
Let's see, Muthin Ali. Ew.
Yeah. Ooh. Brother. Ooh.
Here's the Green Party. Green parties are very much known in, not everywhere, but in many parts of the world, to be basically, parties of internal internal unrest. Fifth column, ready to become traitors. Here is his side. Candidate Muthin Ali, Gipton and Harrell's ward. Muthin is one of our most active candidates in the Gipton and Harrell's ward in East Leeds. He speaks Arabic, teaching children Arabic, something. I don't know. It doesn't say anything about his actual background here. But yeah, this is the infiltration. This is the infiltration here, happening right here. I mean, just look at this picture. I must say that I think that British people are so pathetic. Can you imagine, like, these people?
I literally just thought you get what you deserve. If you're voting for this guy, you get what you deserve.
I mean, almost all of them. I mean, it's like you see them online. You see them like patriotic, like, yeah, I'm proud to be British. I'm proud of our flag. I'm proud to be British. Yeah, we don't want this here. We will defend. Okay, where the hell are you? Where the hell are you? I don't see anything. All I'm seeing is the further advancement of Islamism into your country. Soon it will be at such a stage where you can't turn it around anymore. Where the hell are you people? Oh, we are proud. We're proud. I'm proud to be British. Look, here is the flag. Here is the flag. I posted it on Twitter. And I also go outside and say I'm proud to be British in it. Okay, fantastic, great, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. You did a good job. You did a great job. Meanwhile, another town has been turned into an Islamic town. And another town has been turned into one of those towns where the people now say, hey, if you don't like Muslims, just go move somewhere else.
Hey, AP.
Yes.
You know what we should put together? Hey, I wonder
Yes.
if everyone agrees with us on this. What do you guys think? Just had an idea. You know what people talk about the Dawa script? The Dawa script, because like they do their Dawa and then they all remember, like Sneeko, like he's spouting the same exact talking points and making the same points as like the other Dawa guys. We call it the Dawa script. For all the people who are actually upset but don't know what to do, because keep in mind, if you're just, if you live in some part of Great Britain and you're getting freaked out about this, but you don't know what to do.
Bob Johnson, who the hell do you think is behind all of this? Bob Johnson, tell me, please. Please tell me who in the world is behind all of this.
Yeah,
tell me, please.
It's the
please
Jews. The
Please let me
Jews
know.
are trying to get Muslims to take over the world. I keep hearing that from Nick Fuentes fans. It's the
Please
Jews.
demonstrate to me how stupid you are, how you are far beyond the thinking capabilities of even the people of Gaza, and please tell me who is behind this. Go on.
It's the Jews. The
Go on,
Jews
let's
are
see how
trying
it
to
makes
get themselves killed. They're doing it because they're such masterminds that they're trying to get Islam to take over the world so that Jews can be destroyed. It's what they're doing. You see?
I know it's very well. It's because the Jews.
Hey,
They want
hey,
to send all of those. They want to send all of those immigrants, those Muslims, into the Western world to take over those countries that they are allied with, so that they will lose their allies and eventually be killed. That's what the Jews want. You absolute retard. Anyway, continue, David. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, you got lots of people who are worried who aren't in a position to do much politically because you're only one vote. You're not you're not gonna like go and like physically stop people from doing things. So a lot of people are wondering what can we do? What can we do as our country's being taken over? And now we're being told to leave our own country if we don't like Sharia and so on. So what are we supposed to do? We should come up with kind of an anti-Dawa script, meaning, guys, if you want to make these guys who are running their mouths and talking about telling you, if you really want to upset these guys, learn to criticize Muhammad.
Yep.
Learn to criticize Muhammad so that wherever they turn, Muhammad is being criticized. They will get very, very uncomfortable in your country if everywhere they go, Muhammad and the Quran are being blasted. They will be terrified for their children to hear these criticisms, because they want to shield their children from this stuff until Islam takes over the world and so on. So if you want to make these guys, the Muhammad hijabs and the Bushra sheikhs and so on of the world, really, really uncomfortable where they are, just transform yourself into a population that regularly and routinely criticizes and mocks Muhammad. What we could do, AP, we could put together a little anti-Dawah crash course where we give 5 to 7 points that they can always bring up in every conversation. So Muhammad having sex with a 9-year-old girl, Muhammad taking the wife of his own adopted son, things like that. We could give them the sources, and we could say, in response, the Dawah guys are going to say this, or the Muslims are going to say this, and here's your response to those. We can have a little online, or it could just be a video or something like that. But some sort of I don't know, some sort of printed text would be good, because then they can have it handy. And then everyone can learn the anti-Dawah script and learn how to just blast away. And I get put it this way. People are always worried. People freak out. Look, the Muslims have taken over this road. They've taken over this road and they're using it for prayers. They just stopped and they took over the middle of the road, and now traffic has stopped and these guys have stopped in the middle of the road and they're all praying. What do we do? What do we do? Well, yeah, it's a good question. What do you do? Imagine every time that happens, there's 4 or 5 British guys sort of walking around the edges, quoting information about Muhammad, saying, why are these people bowing down to a man who penetrated a 9-year-old girl? Some guys might get ticked off. They might get ticked off. But guess what? Any leaders there, they're going to be so horrified at some of the younger Muslims hearing these criticisms that they're not going to want to do that anymore. They're going to say, oh, this isn't going to work. Every time we bow down and take over a street, a bunch of people gather around and start shouting information that we do not want these young guys to hear. So guys, I'm telling you from many years of experience, the leaders and the older generation, they are absolutely terrified of the younger generation being exposed to massive amounts of criticisms of Muhammad. So if you start being the person who's putting out massive amounts of criticisms of Muhammad and really embarrassing material, they are going to want to keep the young people as far away from you as possible. And they're just in general not going to be comfortable in your area.
It sounds like a good plan, but I think we're far beyond. We are far past that. Maybe that's
I'm not saying that as the ultimate solution or something like that. I'm saying something as far as something that some people can do right now.
Yeah.
You still have to figure out where this goes in the future. But if you want to weaken the Ummah and de-embolden them, if it creates a cycle where everything they do, where they try to escalate criticism against Muhammad and the Quran, escalate too, they're gonna quit running their mouths very much. Like, you're not gonna see this. I'm not gonna see them running their mouths like this if every time it ends up blasting away at Muhammad.
Inshallah.
What I'm saying is, the West has been trained, people in general, there are exceptions like us and so on. Most people have been trained to not go after Muhammad and the Quran. So you can criticize this and say, oh, but that's hurting our feelings, and why can't we just get along? You're allowed to say stuff like that.
I don't think it's going to work. Even if you tell them. It's not going to work even if you tell them. Western people are incredibly stupid. So Western people can be the smartest people, the most intelligent people, among the most intelligent people in the world to create good things. But I'm sorry, but Western people, you are all stupid. You are very naive.
You heard it here.
It's incredibly difficult.
He thinks we all deserve to be subjugated by this.
We can blast.
He moves here and calls for our subjugation.
We can blast it all day long. We can blast it out all day long. Say, hey, they don't respect you. They don't respect your lives. You don't have to respect their religious values. You don't have to respect Muhammad, and so on. You can blast this out all day long. They don't get it. Okay, they don't get it. They could be taken to the news. They could be taken to whatever, get butchered, to the guillotine, whatever it is that these bastards want to establish. They would still on the way there say, "Oh, okay, I get it. I just don't want to. I just don't want to disrespect Muhammad because that's not what we are. Because that's not how we should be doing this. Because we want to be polite. Okay, get killed then. Yeah."
AP, you're talking about now. You're looking around now. I'm looking at the trajectory. I'm seeing more and more. I'm seeing more people waking up. Yes, they are. See it every day. There are more people waking up. Not nearly enough. Tiny fraction. So more people are waking up. And as they see more people killed in their streets, more mobs, more things burned, more of their cities burned to the ground, more, not everyone, but more people are going to wake up, and more people are going to decide, think, what am I supposed to do?
I don't believe that.
One thing you can actually do now is blast away at the foundations of Islam.
Yeah,
that's one thing you can do.
I don't think it works at all.
What the heck are you talking about? AP.
There are two,
I can't even tell if
people,
you're joking. Hey,
two people
AP, just by criticizing Islam, we got the apostasy rate from 0% to 24% over 15 years. Do not be one of the people who says, "Oh, but blasting away at Muhammad and Islam doesn't work."
No, we can talk. We can talk. We should definitely we can talk. But there is no. I would say that there is no use at all in urging people or in telling people that they should be doing this. It's like I don't think that there is a great change happening. The only change.
Wait. Seriously. Wait. Hang on. Seriously here. If a few people on YouTube and on some websites blasting away and exposing Muhammad got the apostasy rate from 0% to 24% in 15 years, you're saying that if we encouraged way more people to do the exact same thing, which blasted the apostasy rate through the roof, and if we know from statistics gathered by Muhammad Hijab himself that the thing that causes doubts and causes Muslims doubts about their religion most is finding out all this embarrassing stuff about Muhammad, and we know that they try to shield their fellow Muslims from hearing this information because they know how damaging it is to their religion. You're seriously saying the one thing we know that works, it's not completely successful, doesn't like solve all the problems, but we know it works in causing people to doubt Islam, causing people to leave Islam. You're saying here with a straight face that having massively more people do the exact same thing and get that information to the Muslim community until it becomes common knowledge, so that whenever anyone opens his mouth about Muhammad and the speakers being blasted with, what about Aisha? What about Zainab? What about all these things? You're saying,
I get it.
Complete waste of time. Let's just sit here and whine on our live stream. That's the only way.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, if that was the case, if that actually happened, that would be great. However, you are skipping a step there, which is you are somehow skipping that gap from declaring this to massive amounts of people actually going out and speaking and blasting at us. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. People aren't going to do this. People are not going to do this. People are not doing it.
You're not looking at the trajectory. How can you not see the trajectory? People are getting
because
more
I think
more
because I
concerned.
think that I don't have faith that Western people are actually smart enough to open their eyes and see what's in front of them. I think people are just lazy and will just believe, oh, everything will be fine. Let's just be polite and let's just go and vote in the next elections for Donald Trump and see what happens.
AP, can if one person is criticizing Islam, can you go from 1 to 2? Can that happen? Is that I'm thinking because you're like, no, that's not. No,
I get it. We already got it. But look at this. These are
suppose. So just suppose. I'm AP. I'm saying this because I have seen. No. I've seen the trajectory. When I started 15 years ago, there were like 5 people. There were like 5 people who were criticizing Islam. Now there are tons. The idea that there can't be way more. Why are there tons? Because some people woke up along the way. If a bunch of people woke up along the way, and then you say, well, they can't wake up anymore. We've reached peak awakeness, and no more people can wake up.
I got it. Even if you say 50,000 times.
I'm starting to think you're a secret agent trying to discourage Westerners. It's all too late, ladies and gentlemen.
Even if you're going to say
just go down with the ship. Be calm. Go down with the ship. There's nothing you can do. You've been subjugated. Give up, ladies and gentlemen. Give up on it.
Even if you say
you're American now, we don't give up.
David, come on.
We dump people's crap tea into our harbor and we destroy Islam.
David, let's move on. Okay, come on, let's move on. Even if you're going to say it 5 million times, I understand, and I don't believe it is going to work. If you think it's going to work, good luck. Good luck. When I
Every
see
day,
I
all we
will
hear
be
from
happy
is
and I will be
negative
surprised.
Nelly.
When I see it
woman,
happening,
you are a negative
when I
Nelly.
see it
That
happening,
Muslim
I
woman
will.
is right about you. You're a negative
Okay.
Nelly. You don't like Muslims because they're positive.
David, come on, let me talk.
See, they're talking about subjugating the world, but at least they're positive. You're negative Nelly.
I swear I'm going to mute you at this point.
This is what they do, ladies and gentlemen. They silence us.
I hope you're right. If I see it happening, I'll be very surprised, but I don't think so because I think Western people are stupid. Like here, look at this example. The Jews, it's all the Jews for. And look at this. There are entire places, entire countries being turned into Islamic hellholes. And this guy is like, hey, I think we should work together with the Muslims against the Jews. Absolutely.
I think
The
we
place
should
where I
work
was,
together.
a lot of these, like, Jews.
And
And
I got beat up by a Jew in kindergarten, and I'm still taking it out on them.
Yeah,
a lot of these like Jews and Zionist agents
Jews?
are coming out and trying to split apart the Christians and Muslims by saying, you know, they think
Yeah.
they're alliance, but you know, Muslims are just as bad or something like that, or saying, you know, well, Christians
Just
are
as
weak
bad.
and this sort of thing. And I don't think it needs to be more complicated than this. Israel colonizes Palestine. Israel colonizes America. Therefore, Muslims and Christians are working to dislodge Jewish power, which dominates both the countries. I mean, we don't agree on religion. We probably don't agree on a few other things. But in this limited sense, even if for nothing else, although I think we agree on more than that, I think we have a common cause. Why would there be this? But then you realize Jews hate to see people antagonize.
Listen to this stupidity. Listen to this absolute incredible stupidity. Whenever I see, then people come and say, "Oh yeah, I agree with Nick Fuentes on this and this, but you know, he's wrong on this and this and that part." I'm sorry, but no matter what you say about him, if you come here and say, "Oh, he's actually good, he's just misunderstood," no, completely false. Oh, he's smart, no, completely false. What the hell is smart about this? Oh, he's so based. No, he's not based. What is based about this? This guy looks like a little child molester who is just has problems with Jews, and he's contradicted himself in order to go against the Jews, even to befriend those very people whom he was calling barbaric just a year ago. Just a year ago. He was talking trash about Islam and about Muslims. In fact, just a few months ago, he was talking about how Islam is trash and Muslims are trash and this and that. Now suddenly he's actually telling thousands of people out there, using the current heat of the Israel versus terrorist war, to tell people around the world, hey, yeah, we should actually be cool. We should actually be cool with Muslims. We should work together with Muslims. Yeah. Meanwhile, of course, Muslims will take over and they will say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. If you don't like it here, then get out of here. But we should be working together with them because the Jews are trying to take over. The Jews are trying to take over? Your home has been taken over by Muslims already. What freaking Jews, you absolute imbeciles. I mean, every single Nazi here, every single Nick Fuentes sympathizer, every single person who's like, but the Jews. I'm not sure how exactly you breathe. I'm not sure how you even make it through the day. I'm not sure how you go, like, eat a meal, how you have lunch. I'm not sure how you function, how you do. I'm not sure how you learn to use a computer and to type here. You people are bored. You people are beyond retarded. It's like retarded is not even a word anymore. It doesn't even. It's far beyond that. Significantly far beyond that. You people shouldn't even be alive. It's like you are mentally. It doesn't. Your mental capacities are at such a point. It doesn't even make sense. No living human being should be there. It's like your intellectual level is under the ground more than just 6 feet or 7 feet or 8 feet. You're completely retarded. Not double, not triple, entirely retarded. You're like dead people. You're like zombies. Zombies who think they can think, but you can't. And we all just see how ridiculously stupid you people are. Anyway, this is the kind of stuff that we're dealing with. And seeing stuff like that. I mean, look at this. Look at this here. Look at this here. He is right. Let me read Muhammad Hijab's message to you. He's right. Muhammad Hijab says, it is clear that elements of the right in the UK are and by the way, while we're reading this, think about those completely detached, stupid American Nazi people like Nick Fuentes, who are completely detached from what Europe actually is going through, and who are like, oh, Muslims and we should be friends against the Jews. Just listen to this. It is clear that elements of the right in the UK are embittered at the rising population of Muslims and or ethnic communities in major cities. Let's be real. If you are waiting for a policy or party that will remove 1.4 million Muslim British citizens from London or 350,000 Muslims from Birmingham, such a policy will probably never come. Practically speaking, you can solve your problem by going to other towns and cities with less Muslims or ethnics. 93% of the country is non-Muslim. If you don't like it, just go somewhere else. If you can't tolerate us, you know where the door is. You know, he has a point here. He's not wrong. He's saying, yeah, I know you guys on the right, you have a problem with us taking over cities and all that. But let's be real for a second. It's too late. It's too late. You can't do anything about this. Can't do anything about this. Because we are here, and there will never be a policy. There will never be, a legislation. There will never be an actual act which will relocate or which will kick these Muslims out of these cities. They are already there. Deal with it. There is nothing you can do. He's rubbing it in right here. He's saying, there's nothing you can do. If you don't like it, how about you go somewhere else? How about you go somewhere else? You know he's right. Who can say that he's actually wrong? I don't think that he's wrong. I think he's totally right. And he's proud of this. But hey, I'm proud to be British. I'm proud to be British, mate. Yeah, I'm waving my flag. Yeah, I'm gonna march. Yeah, and we go to the elections, and we're gonna elect some other mayor. Yeah. And we know very well Sadat Khan. We're gonna get rid of him. Yeah, that's what they were saying just a few days ago. Now he's reelected. How did that work out for you? Oh, it's so bad that it's almost funny. It's so bad that it's too funny now. Man. And by the way, let's connect this to something here. Let's connect this to my discussion with Muhammad Hijab. Look, here you have him saying, hey, we are already everywhere, and you can't get rid of us. It will never happen. Let's be realistic. Even if you want it to happen, it will never happen. Deal with it. And now let's look at what Muhammad Hijab actually thinks about what to do in such a situation. The Islamic State of Britain
is all to do with the allegiance or non-allegiance to a state.
And you believe that the state should be Islamic and everybody should be forced to pledge allegiance to the state, don't you?
No, I don't think that is any. Look, if it's a Muslim majority country, absolutely. But if it's a
absolutely. Did you hear that?
Yeah, if it's a Muslim
so what is the difference then?
No,
you believe that an Islamic state should be established?
I think if it's a Muslim majority country, if they want Islam, then surely on democratic principles, outsiders should have nothing to do with that.
You believe that an Islamic state, an Islamic government should be established if the majority is Muslim. You, for example, want to spread Islam to the entire UK. So if the majority of the entire UK, if the majority of the entire UK was Muslim, you would want everybody to adhere to an Islamic state, and this Islamic state should require.
I don't want an Islamic state in Britain. I'm not asking.
That doesn't make it. Now he's saying I don't want an Islamic state in Britain, but that doesn't make sense because he says because his mission is to spread Islam together with Al-Dawa, for example. And he also says if the majority is Muslim, then yeah, of course, an Islamic state should be established. And if an Islamic state is established, then everybody should be forced to obey to this Islamic state. And he is in Britain, where he also does his dawah, and he has no intention to leave. If Britain becomes majority Muslim, then it should be an Islamic state. Therefore, Mohammed Hijab wants an Islamic state of Britain. This is basic logic. It makes sense. Come here and refute it, please. He's only saying, I don't want an Islamic state for Britain because he wants to avoid certain legal consequences. That's all he's doing. But that's what he thinks. Listen to this one.
The Islamic
To a state.
and you believe that the state should be Islamic and everybody should be forced to pledge allegiance to the state, don't you?
No, I don't think that is. And look, if it's a Muslim majority country, absolutely. But if it's a Muslim-
Absolutely.
yeah, if it's a Muslim
So
majority-
what is the difference then?
No, if
You
it's a
believe
Muslim
that an
majority-
Islamic state should be established.
I think if it's a Muslim majority country, if they want Islam, then surely on democratic principles, outsiders should have nothing to do with that.
You believe that
So there you go. There you go. With what you just heard, just think about this whole text here again that he said, that he typed in here, where he said, where he is basically rubbing it in and saying, hey, it's too late. You know, if you don't like us, how about you move somewhere else? Deal with it, man. I guess British people deal with it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you really going to do? Even if you're mad right now, if you feel sad about this, if you feel like, no, I didn't ask for this, what are you going to do? Cry? Just deal with it, I guess. That's what you've been doing all along. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Then I saw this tweet here, or this fight here, where I thought, hey, this looks so based. But then in the end, I thought again, wait a minute. What this is actually saying? So a Bo says 31 million people on this island are Christian. Half of them are men. This is, by the way, in response to what Mohammed Hijab tweeted here. It says 31 million people on this island are Christian. Half of them are men. 15.5 million Christian men against your 1.4 million limp-wristed, perpetually emotional explosionaries. We were welcoming. We have been tolerant. We have been patient. No more. You shit where you ate. You have raped the country's children. You have taken our lands and abused our women and girls. You have lived off our men and their blood, history, sweat, and hard work. No more. God bless the United Kingdom and all her men, real men, men that change the world. And at first, when you look at this and when you read it, it's like, whoa, yeah. But then, okay, cool. Good post. Decent amount of likes. Okay, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing at all. Just gonna make another post and get a few more likes. That's it. Here it says Mohammed Hijab came in and said, if we've done all those bad things, what are you gonna do about it, keyboard warrior? Look at this. He's not scared. He says exactly what I'm saying right now, because he knows that you people are not going to do anything except complain. Bo says, try me, fatty Hijab. Your time is up. And Mohammed Hijab says, if you're a man, spell out what you're gonna do. Bo says, I'm a woman, and I would still take you on. Turns out this is a woman. The bravest thing, toughest thing, most patriotic thing that I read here actually came from a woman. After this, Mohammed Hijab stopped, of course, because he's like, a woman? Oh, no, I can't talk to women. Women are beneath me. But yeah, this is the best thing that people can do in response to Islamists being proud of immigration and of taking over, is making a post and getting 6,000 likes. And then, yeah. Good job. Here, let me give another like here. Let me give another like. Let me retweet this just to help the algorithm. And from there, maybe this person can make more tweets and get more interactions and be happy about it while doing nothing and while just watching it all happen. Very, very good job. Good work. Good work. David, anything you want to say about this fantastic trajectory?
No, it's all hopeless. We're doomed. There's nothing we can do except sit here.
Yeah, exactly. Here's Jake Shields. Jake Shields is arguing with Tim Pool because Tim Pool invited him to a show. Then he said later on, you know what? I don't want it anymore. I don't want Nick Fuentes or you on my show. And then Jake responds to him and says, "You lie like a Jew." Do you see this? You lie like a Jew. 1.7 million views, 10,000 likes, 700 comments. This is now normal. It's now normal. This is the new rise. Let's look at here. You invited these people in here thinking, hey, everything will be cool. Everything will be all right. Here's Haq Aisha saying, I am not pro-Hitler, but upon seeing the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, I really wish that he should have finished what he started. This is the new normal. Man, the same people who fought off the Nazis, who bombed London to the grounds, invited over people who are now praising Hitler and saying, yeah, let's do what Hitler did. That's what's happening. Anyway, today Israel has been going into Rafah in hopes to put an end to the war, to the mission of finally destroying Hamas and taking full control of Gaza. And I hope that they succeed in doing that. Hope they can take full control of that. Hope they can destroy Hamas. And I hope that they can be in charge of Gaza once again to deal with it appropriately this time. And all those who are against Islam and against Islamism and who oppose Israel right now and who think Israel is evil, Israel is bad, Israel is doing genocide, Israel is doing colonialism. You people are worse than those who are just sitting there and watching, because you are helping the Islamists. Israel is right now at the front, risking its entire existence, going against the world and fighting the Islamists who are out there, who want to kill Jews and who want to establish a caliphate from there. The United Nations says Israel should stop now. Even Biden's weak America says you should stop now. Netanyahu says, nope. Even if no single country supports us, we will continue and we will finish this war. They're risking their entire existence now. If the Islamic world snapped and if they suddenly attacked, things would go really, really bad. And Israel could risk its entire existence. But Israel is fighting on the front. And what do we have here? We have some guy who looks like a child molester talking like, hey, we should be united with Muslims right now against the Jews. Yeah, because Jews are bad. Because Jews are bad. Jews are very, very bad. Jews are bad because they're fighting the Islamists right now. They should be giving the land to the Islamists so that they can take it and establish an Islamic caliphate so that the Muslims can get more emboldened and invade us and take over, because that's what we all deserve. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Nick Fuentes is just also hopeless and trying to bring about the end of Western civilization or something like that. Maybe he's just doing and putting on an act. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, what is this? That's an interesting set of data. Immigration and crime. In Germany, Afghans and Africans are proportionally 40 times to 70 times more involved in gang rapes than Germans. Germans 0.6 out of 1 million. Africans 23. Afghans 41. No, it's probably just a misunderstanding. Can't be right. Yeah. Can't be right. Nothing to see here. Input latency says off-topic tornado in my area. Please pray for the peeps around here. Much love from Michigan. God bless. I wish you all the best and stay safe. Tallygraph became a YouTube member. Welcome to the club. Mars Incoming gifted 10 memberships, gifted 20 memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very, very much. Maybe it will be helpful at some point. Mars Incoming gifted 50 more memberships. Thank you very, very much. Very much appreciated. And also thank you on behalf of all those who were given a membership. 50 more. Very, very nice. Eric Apkin said, it's too late. England has now become Anglistan. It's going to be worse, man. This is nothing. Great Me Daddy said Golden Shower. Richard Dawkins said Matt Dillahunty is your hero now, AP. How does it even make sense? Mars Incoming gifted 50 more memberships. Destin AP said best hair in political commentary. It is indeed the best hair. Richard Dawkins said, brother, ooh, brother. I need to put that on my soundboard. One day. I don't know. Maybe that can help stop the Islamization of Europe. Making jokes.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
We are marching with Tommy Robinson 1st of June. Good luck. Hope it helps. Cup of Indian tea. They are trying to make UK into an Almanasi. It's not like they're going to fail. Marcin Cummings gifted 50 more memberships. Really, really good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate it. All colors are entombed in black. Islam in the UK. No more drum and bass. Hussein Mashni. Hey, Hussein, how are you doing? I don't want to see when Europeans wake up from their Islamo stupor. Yep. A pusillanimous leather grape on Zabiba machine of the cow said, my showers are gold. I like my goats no more than 9 years old. If you criticize, use me, I'll say to Mossad, you yourself have been sold. Who am I? I don't know. Who are you? David doesn't even know. David has completely lost hope here. Why are you so pessimistic, David? What is this?
Well, what are we doing? It's all pointless.
Yeah, it's true. Mars Incoming gifted 50 more memberships. Very, very nice. Thank you. Jeremy Mott said, how about the Muslims who aren't culturally Brits leave the UK? Yeah, good luck with that. Tesbot, love you guys. Learned loads. What can we do in the UK? I'm really worried.
Nothing.
At all.
Sit back and wait.
Can
be
do nothing.
subjugated.
James said, AP, you got blood on your hands too for all the Islam hate. Go fuck yourself. Divine High Priestess of the Sacred Flame says, save Torwood Castle at GoFundMe, ancestral home of the Forrester clan. Is this serious? Go check it out. Cameron said, please do Mohammed Hijab goes to Finland. Yeah, he'll be walking around and saying, you finish. Jack said, these instances are looking scarily similar. Are people going to sit back and let it happen again? It's making me sick to my stomach. Humanity, wake up. Anders Ljungberg, what are you wearing on your head? SO, not gold. The wisdom of the goats, please. My goat arrives next week. Yeah, should have
Torwood Castle is a ruined 16th century L-plan castle near the village of Torwood in central Scotland. It was listed as a Category A listed building in 1979. The Buildings at Risk Register for Scotland originally listed its level of risk as low, but raised that level to moderate in mid-2019 after seeing signs of continued neglect. Give it up. Torwood Castle is doomed.
Nice. Oh, but hey, elections are coming up in America. Maybe this time, our party will change things for the better. And if it's not this time, then maybe 4 years after that. And maybe if not that time, then maybe 4 years after that. And maybe if it doesn't work that time, then maybe the next term. And maybe if not then maybe 4 years after that. Render unto Caesar, what are you two going on about? About all the good things in the world. Random OK said Deus Vult every day, but how about do something? Exactly, that's what I mean.
No,
Mohammed Hijab's
don't do anything. It's pointless. Go ahead.
Yes.
We will stop the boats.
Mohammed Hijab's chesticle said we will stop the boats. What's your problem? Matthew Wivturik said, hey, this is Matthew Wood. She was 9 years old guy. Oh, that's you? Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of inviting you here for a conversation, but then I have been told that that you didn't have very good intentions about coming on the show and speaking. So I decided not to do it. Although I liked the act of speaking on that day and saying she was 9 years old and even getting detained for that. I think from what I have heard, you would contribute to more suffering than goodness. And especially right now, not going to tolerate that. That one Jewish girl said, praying to Allah for that Mossad collab. Yeah, inshallah. The Ashdale Regiment said, collab with Nigerian Perspective Frank Stephen. We'll look into that. We'll look into that. David is trying to get in touch because David is making notes and doing all of that stuff right now. He's dealing with that right now. I know that for a fact. Shake my wingerling said, atheists, can they ever be on time? They can never be on time. Just like British people. Sam's Cola said, hide her face in the thumbnail. I can't control myself. Well, keep it in your pants. You're writing broom Sharia for the UK, period. Yeah, exactly. I reckon I'm gonna hello shaky booty and mutasawwuf Dawood Wahid. That's too much, man. That's a big mouthful. John AP, where are your preferred pronouns? I forgot to put them on the screen, but I also took off my stupid hair. So, Mr. Bukhari said, damn, that hair makes me spill jizya on keyboard. Nudis said, baby Aisha, peace be upon him, what peace be upon her, riding on Burak, came to me in my sleep and told me to give more jizya to the Prophet. Peace be upon you. Here's my jizya payment, Apostate Prophet. Peace be upon you. Please tell Allah not to curse me with just green grapes, but allow me more purple grapes. I will look into that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Why is it quiet, David? Jit Mondal said, without lies, Islam dies. Sankey said, we want a life with Benjamin Cohen, not his sister. Who's his sister? Who's Benjamin Cohen's sister? Hi, Dan. It's not my beautiful Britannia Dan. Gay P said, yes, slay queen, free Palestine. Indeed. Mothman, servant of Dajjal. I think it's Elon Musk. Mars, most likely. Render unto Caesar. I just finished Matthews, aka she was 9-year-old Kika Chad's interview with Middle Eastern Witness, and whoa. Hope you can get him on. Yeah, maybe as I just said, behind the scenes, we can have a conversation and then see how we can proceed from there. Lou Strap Larry said, TikTok time for Rooster slurp. If we can get you to 5,000 watches, can we get a shirtless live stream? Yeah, definitely. If we get to 5,000 watchers. Wait a minute, that's not very unrealistic because at one point I had like what was the max?
You had over 4. You had over 4.
I think it was like 4,500 or 4,700 or something like that. It was very close. 4,500, I don't know, something like that. So I was almost going to say it, but no, I'm kind of scared. I'll get back to you. Philip Daniel said Palestine belongs only to brown Canaanite pals. Polish 0%, Levant DNA Jews get out. Am I right? But Europe belongs to everybody, especially Muslims. Yeah, exactly. Mars incoming says, Israel. Israel Chai. Yes. There's a song for that. The people of Israel live. Brandon, okay. If only Musaylima and Kid Buqa were successful, SMH. Yep. According to legends, Musaylima actually, the rival prophet to Muhammad, actually had his own interpretation of Islam, and was trying to take over. And he wanted to abolish lots of bans that Muhammad set in place, and he wanted to reduce the amount of prayers and things like that, for which he was accused of being a false prophet and a heretic, and they killed him. Yeah. Very, very based stuff. Philip Daniel, Palestine belongs only to Brown. Already read this. Pay every penny to save Israel. Alhamdulillah, said David Wood. Some Mike Winger looking normie t-shirt. Christian. AP fabulous queers for Palestine cosplay atheist. Draw your own conclusions. Indeed, this is a good point. But I also have an America shirt here. Look at America shirt. Maybe by wearing an America shirt, I can change things. Mr. Max said, hey, I have the worst joke. Question, how does a non-binary jihadi group kill people? They, them, they/them. Ha ha ha. This is terrible. What's wrong? Big Zaman, have you guys seen the current X-Twitter argument between Jake Shields and Tim Pool? I have. I'm a little bit confused by it also on in regards to Tim Pool's part in that whole discussion, because apparently Tim Pool accepted a request by Jake Shields to have Nick Fuentes and him on there and to have them debate with opposing people. But then later he said he couldn't actually agree to have any opposing side on there, and he now doesn't want to do it anymore. And then the whole thing broke out, and Jake was like, you're just trying to serve the Jews. You're a liar, just like Jews.
I bet Jake will challenge him to a fight.
Probably. And what's very funny is that he also told told Tim Pool, you can't be trusted because I expect a man to keep his word, and you gave me your word. And that's very ironic because Jake famously also told me that he would debate me, and then walked back on that. So
and he invited me to a discussion with him and Nick Fuentes, which I accepted, and then he uninvited me.
wow, alhamdulillah. That's just how it is. Urinating Broom, telling natives to leave their own country is empathetic and good at promoting social harmony and civility. It definitely doesn't breed resentment, right? Yeah, exactly. It's actually for the betterment of social harmony and peace. You see, the country is divided because it isn't Islamic. If everyone were Muslim, there would be social cohesion. All would agree. Allah knows best. Yeah, so this is also the hikmah in having apostasy laws, for example, and blasphemy laws. If somebody leaves Islam and openly declares that they leave Islam, of course, it's best to just to kill them, lest they cause an erosion in social cohesion. Executing people who disagree will keep things better. So, yeah, definitely. DC Isaac says, my jizya is a joke I wrote when I lived in SLC, Utah. SLC stands for Salt Lake City, I assume. A Mormon guy gets a second wife and says, thank you, Heavenly Father. Jewish guy gets a second wife and says, what did I do to deserve this? Yeah. Terrible. Mosh Cohen said, if you're waiting for a policy or a party that will remove 1.4 million, yes, oh Lord, yes. Not afraid for the US. Second Amendment, baby. Europe, though, I don't know. I don't have much trust in the US either. The good thing about the US is that I don't believe that it will ever get to such a stage where you will have too many Islamists, proportionally, that they will have actually an impact on politics. So America is safe in that regard. Too high of a population, too distant from the Muslim world. That's why I'm proud of being American, baby. Pat Leatherstrap, it's easy to say British people deserve this, but most of us didn't ask for this. Yes, you did. Especially those whose kids were raped by grooming gangs. That is true. That's true. Mark Roman, guys, your work is invaluable. We have almost no content creators on or YouTube channels opposing Islamists in the UK. Not only that, majority of youngsters are brainwashed by 20 years of dawah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Don't think there's much that can help at this point. Arun Gupta said, pedophile polygamy gang. Mohammed Hijab's Chesticle said, what are the best arguments when dealing with ignorant Westerners who claim Islam is a religion of peace and screech Islamophobe? I would say open the Quran and all that. Loose strap, read this, urinating broom. AP, be careful, or some brain that Dawa bro will kid this and put it on Twitter saying, you see, the apostate is in despair and knows Islam will win. I don't think Islam will win. None of this implies that I think Islam will win. What I do think is that Islam will cause major unrest and will severely change and severely impact and severely derail Western civilization and the European way of living. And there will be no peaceful resolution. That's what I think. And I'm not hoping for that, but I think that that is quite possible. And I don't know, it's at some point you might even have secessionist, separatist movements in the UK, for example, demanding to establish a separate Islamic nation on the British Isles to separate themselves from the United Kingdom. And you will fight with them. I don't know. There are different theories. I don't think that Islam is going to take over the whole world. That's not going to happen. What do you think, David?
We're all doomed. What else? Nothing.
Well, seriously, what do you think?
There's one fundamental fact we know about people, AP. They cannot change their minds or change their course of action. Whatever they are now, that is what they are doomed to stay as, and therefore we are all doomed because it's 99.9% morons who have absolutely no clue what to do. A couple of people warning them. They don't listen. It's over. They're cooked. Let them cook. They deserve what they get.
No, seriously, what do you think?
We're doomed.
But seriously, what do you think?
I just said it. We're screwed. Better them than us, but Europe is cooked.
No, seriously. What do you think?
All you people in the UK need to start moving to the United States now because it's your last hope of refuge. Take the advice of Bushra Sheikh and Mohammed Hijab. Get out while you can.
No, seriously, what do you think?
I just said it.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Continue talking. I'm just getting some updates here and just
urinating broom upon one another. That's what they do. Urinating broom. What is R? Rubles?
I don't know. I do not know.
Hey, I saw your boy. I saw your boy.
You did?
She was 9-year-old. She was 9 years old. He's over there posting Talmud references. With all the accuracy of a Nick Fuentes fan. Not joking. He quoted Sanhedrin 59a. Remember that? Remember we went through that?
Yeah.
59 Sanhedrin 59a is the one that says where a rabbi says that if a Gentile learns the law, he should be killed. Keep in mind, these guys have no authority anywhere to kill people for doing anything. This is their way of comparing it to like robbery and so on. But this is the one where all you have to do is keep reading, and you should start seeing an issue, right? So the she was 9 years old guy posted Sanhedrin 59a, and you can read it. You can see why someone would start reading this and be concerned. The Gemara challenges, but the mitzvah of establishing courts of judgment, blah, 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 where we get to it. Where is it? Where's the part that says, okay, so the Torah is our inheritance. The law is our inheritance. And so where's the part where he says that he has to, that if you steal the law, then you have to die? Okay, here we go. So the Gemara explains, according to the one who says that the verse is referring to the Torah as an inheritance, this prohibition is included in the prohibition of robbery, as a Gentile who studies Torah robs the Jewish people of it. According to the one who says that the verse is referring to the Torah as betrothed, as the spelling of the Hebrew word for betrothed is similar to that of the word for inheritance, the punishment of a Gentile who studies the Torah is like that of one who engages in intercourse with a betrothed young woman, which is execution by stoning. There's all a rabbi saying this is how bad it is if the Gentiles learn the Torah. So the implication for people like she was 9 years old guy and Nick Fuentes and so on is all these Jews are waiting to kill us because we've read the Torah. But again, you keep reading. The Gemara raises an objection to Rabbi Yohanan's statement, because that was a statement of a rabbi. It was a statement of a rabbi. And then it says the Gemara raises an objection to Rabbi Yohanan's statement. In other words, the Talmud is raising an objection against what another rabbi said in the Talmud. And here,
what does it say?
Rabbi Meir would say, from where is it derived that even a Gentile who engages in Torah study is considered like a high priest?
Oh, what?
It is derived. It is derived from that which is stated, you shall therefore keep my statutes and my ordinances, which if a man does, he
But
shall
where-
live by
no,
them. So they point
no.
out it's not if a Jew does it, it's if
can't
a
be true.
man does it.
Can't be true.
And it says the phrase, which if priests, Levites, and Israelites do, they shall live by them, is not stated, but rather a man, which indicates mankind in general. You have therefore learned that even a Gentile who engages in Torah study is considered like a high priest. In other words, it's a huge honor for a Gentile to learn the Torah. And so, guys, this is a good illustration because keep in mind, I've said before, there's all sorts of messed up stuff in the Talmud. You have to understand, you're talking about these are commentaries of rabbis, and you'll say, "Oh, this one sounds messed up," and yeah, keep reading, and then you say, "Oh, a completely different view." But what will happen from the Nick Fuentes crowd? Their readers have no clue what any of this is, right? People have scoured, they've gone through the Talmud, and they'll go to a little part that says if a Gentile learns the Torah, he should be killed. They'll leave off the point that it's a rabbi saying this, and they'll leave off that right after that it says, but this other rabbi countered and went in the opposite direction with it and said they're actually honored and blessed if they learn the Torah. They'll leave that out and they'll say, and so it's like multiple levels of misrepresentation. So they'll say, yes, the Torah, the Talmud says that if a Gentile learns the Torah, he has to be executed. They'll leave out that these guys have no power to execute, and this kind of a language they use that you're just basically constantly under death sentences for all kinds of things. And so they'll leave all of that out. They'll leave out that this is a rabbi saying it. They'll just say the Talmud says this. They'll leave out that the Talmud also says the opposite, that it's actually a great honor and should be celebrated if a Gentile learns the Torah. They'll leave that out. And then beyond that, they'll say this is what Jews in general believe. That Jews in general all believe that they have to go around executing Gentiles who learn the Torah, and that they're just waiting for the opportunity to go on a killing spree.
But don't you see all the Jews around the world who are going around and killing people who study the Bible?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, guys, just think of all the. Don't think about all the jihadis who slaughter people in the name of Allah, and you have plenty of evidence for that. Guys, just think how all the Jews who've gone around killing people for 2,000 years for learning the Torah, longer. Even you're talking over 3,000 years. Jews have gone around. Anyone who learns some of the Torah, any Gentile who learns some of the Torah, they go on a killing spree and kill them. It happens because because that's what the Talmud says. The Talmud says just go out, kill them.
Yeah, we all know.
And they all absorbed it.
We all know. History books are full of Jews just going around and killing people for reading the Bible, the Torah, which is part of your Bible.
She was 9 years old.
So, dear, she was 9 years old guy, dear Nick Fuentes fans, dear Nazis, whatever the hell you are, when you make these idiotic statements, maybe I'm convinced that many of these people have never even read their own scripture, their own holy book, if they are Christians or Muslims or whatever they are. But maybe start there. If you want to cite the Talmud, you should probably be aware of something, which is that the Talmud is significantly larger than all the scriptures that we have probably mentioned throughout this stream combined, because it is not scripture. It is a vast collection of commentary and of debates and of law and of interpretation and so on. It's not a book like the Quran where it gives certain commands, and every single line that it gives is a command that every Jew has to follow. Most Jews have no idea what the Talmud even says. The vast majority of Jews have no idea what the Talmud says. Those who do study the Talmud for scholarly purposes study it in order to understand the Talmud and to interpret the Torah, not to follow it, but to understand it and to develop and keep up this tradition. The majority of the Talmud is not made up of laws, it's of commentary, of people discussing and debating and disagreeing with each other. You have two completely radical opinions going against each other on the very same page. How are you supposed to take a line from that page and say, look, this is what they believe? Don't be stupid. Don't consider yourself a genius. Don't go for, the arrogance of thinking, oh, I looked something up. I saw something on an online meme. Therefore, this is the truth, and I should be spreading this truth. What I can do is to sit down and debunk and to look into a few things. I would never even dare to say, oh, you know what, I totally know exactly what the Talmud teaches, and I'm going to tell everyone now. Look, here's a quote, and here's a quote, and here's a quote. This is what you guys do. You don't even look at the book. You don't know what its nature is. You don't know what its history is. You don't know what its text is, what it stands for, what its function, what its purpose is. You look at a meme, and then you post. You don't even post an actual quote. You just say, something reference here, and you post that, and you think, oh, look, I just showed to everybody how Jews are evil. This is what Muslims do to about Christians in the Muslim world, and you do that here about Jews without even understanding what in the world you're doing. Anyway, Big Zeman said, I hope you both go over the Destiny Nick Fuentes X Spaces that happened a few days ago. Nick is such a loser. I saw bits of it.
What do you mean saw? I thought it was. Is that just audio or is that video too?
Yeah, I listened to it. Listened to bits of it.
So Twitter Spaces is just audio?
Yes.
That's stupid. Why didn't they make it video?
Destiny was kind of humiliating everybody, and it was very, very interesting. It was very, very funny. And it was like
Tucker got fired because
Andrew Tate is in the room with them, and it was. Wait a minute, who is that?
Didn't Tucker get fired for having an opinion that went outside of the narrative?
No, Tucker got fired because he almost cost Fox News $1 billion for lying on air. It's funny that you defend the fact that he had an original opinion. What you're actually defending is misinformation and lies, which is supposed to be something you guys are against, I thought.
Seriously? Andrew Tate is going to try arguing with Destiny? I mean, seriously?
It's just all the kinds of garbage people here together in a room.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Fuentes is garbage, but he argues a lot, so he has a lot of experience. Andrew Tate is used to talking to a camera and boasting about himself, and that's it's not. He's I don't know. I mean, I've only heard 5 seconds of it, but I don't think that. I think he's messing with the wrong one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Messing with the wrong.
Which opinion was this? That's not what I heard. Tell me, please.
That's
what I heard from Candace.
There were texts that were leaked from him where he admitted that he was lying on air about claims that Sidney Powell had made to him, and he was tired of lying to his audience about things about the Dominion voting machines being rigged.
Well, I don't know. That's
you don't know anything.
That's not what I heard from Candace.
Well, I never heard of
Candace.
That's the first time I heard about
Candace and Tristan told me something different, so I'll just go with what they said.
Oh, I personally think they fired him because they don't like him.
Saying things like they get marching orders from everybody. You don't know how any of these media companies are structured. You don't know where the teams get their information from. People that work in media are the most social media hungry people in the universe. You think that all these people in all these networks across all these countries are getting fed the same marching orders and nobody's leaked anything, nobody's complained about anything, nobody's said anything? And why do we think that mainstream media is any more insulated from these problems than alternative media is? You guys will make fun of the marching orders from mainstream media, but I bet every single alternative media guy in here is anti-vax, thinks COVID came from a bioweapons lab, thinks that Russia has a right to invade Ukraine, thinks that all the charges against Donald Trump are made up, thinks that we shouldn't be supporting Israel. You guys have literally copy-pasted the same opinions between every single one of you, and you guys are talking like an army of NPCs about how the mainstream media gives you fabricated opinions. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, guys, I don't know if I'm thinking lots of people didn't catch how brilliant that response was. So it sounds like what was Tate even claiming? Was he claiming that the Jews are behind everything or someone else?
Yeah, Destiny. So Andrew Tate and the whole camp. Some of them openly say Jews. Others just say it's the globalists controlling everything. But
so
yes, big power controlling all.
He would say the Matrix,
and you can't go against it. Yeah.
So Tate was. Tate, I'm not clear what he's saying. The conspiracy, who's behind the conspiracy? But Tate was saying there's this conspiracy that controls the media. So lots of the Nick Fuentes crowd would say people like Jews. So behind the scenes, mind you, there's this group and they're controlling all the media of the world like puppets, and that's why all the media are spouting the exact same thing, because of this group that's controlling everyone, right? So that's the thing. And what I've pointed out in the past is it's stuff that J. Warner Wallace talks about. He talks about it in like criminal investigations. He says whenever you have a conspiracy, the bigger the conspiracy, the more quickly it is, the more easily it is to break down, because the more people you have, and there's always a weakest link. There's someone who's going to crack. And because the more people involved, just the more different interests can be involved, and the more easy it is to flip someone and so on. He says the only time you actually cannot break a conspiracy, an interrogation or something like that, he says it's usually like two brothers who've grown up their entire lives and would never in a million years betray each other and stuff. Those are the ones that you can't crack. The bigger the conspiracy gets, the more more rapidly it will break down, because there's more people involved and so on. So anyway, the point is, if all the media and journalists of the world are aware that they're getting their orders from someone, okay, here's our daily orders. Here's our daily orders of things that we're supposed to report from whoever it is that's sending them these messages. This is what you're supposed to report today. Destiny just pointed out, how come people aren't coming out about this, right? How come of all the journalists in the entire world who are taking orders from these guys, how come they're not coming out and saying, you know what, we've been taking orders from these guys all these years, and here they are. Here's the guy who sends the emails to us telling us what we're supposed to report. In other words, why isn't this conspiracy breaking down very, very quickly? You're talking about hundreds of major news organizations and thousands and thousands and thousands of journalists all taking their orders from the same little group of Jews. How is this not breaking down at some point? Hey guys, these are the guys who are giving us our orders. And then after that, Destiny goes on to say, if you're just saying, hey, everyone's saying the same thing, therefore they're all getting their marching orders from one little group, how would you not come to the exact same conclusion about you guys? Because the alternative media, you're all spouting the exact same thing as well. You're saying the opposite of what the mainstream is saying, but you guys are all in lockstep as far as what you're saying. So if I'm looking at you saying, they're all saying the same thing, what would I conclude? I conclude you're all taking your orders from some organization or some little group or some powerful individual. Who are you guys all taking your orders from? Oh, I'm not supposed to conclude that you're all taking orders just because you're all saying the same thing. Well, why are you saying it about that? It's pretty brilliant takedown. Since he said it all in like 30 seconds.
Yes. And that's the funny thing. At some point, I think Nick Fuentes actually left, and then he came back after Destiny left the room. But it was just like this, and he was just dominating the whole thing from what I have seen. I'm not sure why Andrew Tate, I guess he's a complete narcissist. He will never understand it. But why people actually let him talk to Destiny? He looked like a complete fool, like a complete absolute idiot. Then there is Sneeko, who is about the same in terms of information and knowledge and smarts. There was nobody here who even was a challenge. It is quite interesting. But I think the whole thing was 2 hours long. Destiny's appearance here, he has it all on his channel, so definitely something worth checking out. I doubt that I will ever go through the whole thing. That was good stuff. Good stuff. Maybe there is some hope after all. David the Skeptic said, klingt wie ein besonderer österreichischer Mann, die Juden. Yeah, this says he sounds like a special Austrian man, the Jews. Yeah, precisely. Mohammed Hijab's Chesticle said, AP, do you ever wake up in cold sweats remembering you were a devout Muslim? No. I sometimes still say Bismillah when I'm about to take a bite, very, very rarely. And then I stop myself and think, what the hell? Where'd that come from? Tazbot, every time I say anything negative about Islam, people silence me. I immediately call racist, etc. UK citizens are also often reserved by nature. You're
doomed.
People are reserved, and you're pretty much doomed as well. But I would say, I don't know. I mean, people in the UK want to put an end to things, and then they create a party. Then there is internal disagreement, and then there are two offshoot parties from that party. And then the offshoot parties say, hey, you know what, guys, how about we support the conservatives in this election, and then they dissolve and so on. It's just such a giant mess. It reminds me of communist revolutionaries who also end up doing the same thing. Tesbot, yes. Nuttis said, but Nick Fuentes knows that all of our Groiper problems have nothing to do with us but the Jews. And it makes us feel good. How do I know you are not a Jew, AP? We've never seen your ears, for if they are attached, you're finished, boy. Yeah, it is. It is. That's the big problem. Lars Seth, what do you call a prepubescent human shield? Shieldrin. Shieldrin. This is good. It's smart. That's smart. I need to make a note of that. Huh. Random OK. AP is bright. Barely anyone speaks out against Islam publicly. All the anti-immigration EU leaders haven't done crap. All lies and BS to get elected.
That's right. Too late. Get out while you can. Go to the U.S.
No, don't get out. Stay there. Go down with the ship. Joel Evers says, AP, your haircut seems kind of familiar. Very sus if I do say so myself, bro. It's just missing the wee mustache in it, and you're proud of that. Yeah, I'm trying to make it grow as much as possible so that I can shave off the sides and then see what happens. I kind of designed a new fashion in my head. Monologic, Israel can move 1 million Muslims in circles. The West can do better. Yep. Yigal Gurevich, nice to see you here. If I burn all copies of the Bible and after a millennium, chapter 11, verse 71 of the Quran is read, will readers conclude Isaac and Jacob are father and son or brothers?
Yep. You'd lose a lot of understanding of the Quran if you didn't have the Bible to explain things.
Yes.
Which is weird because the Quran claims to be perfectly clear and explained in detail.
Oh. And his wife was standing, and she smiled. Then we gave her good tidings of Isaac, and after Isaac, Jacob. That's the verse. This is an interesting question. Our father and son or brothers? Yeah. That's an interesting question. But generally, yeah, I agreed with the point as soon as I read it. But this is the thing, and I pointed this out in videos and on streams before, which is that the Quran just takes narratives, names, pieces of information, and puts them into the Quran from the Bible, and doesn't really know what to do with those. Every story that is taken from the Bible and mentioned in the Quran is heavily dumbed down, misses a lot of parts, or has things added that were never in the original story and that don't make much sense, because the author of the Quran just took things from Christians and Jews as he learned them, because it certainly isn't from the same source. The narration is entirely different. The way the book is structured is entirely different. The stories are different. They contradict each other and so on. Good point. Carlo Magno, if you don't like cockroaches in your house, you can always leave. This is a good point. Yeah. Gideon's World said, David, blink 5 times if the Dawa guys are holding you hostage. Yeah, somebody should tell Muhammad Hijab, if you don't like Jews, just leave Israel, right? That should be the response. Why don't you tell all the people that you support over there, hey, well, if you don't like Jews, why don't you just go and live somewhere else?
I will write the message out on a dry erase board. Gideon's World.
Okay. Other colleagues said, I think we should just let them have it, see what they do, then come back. Maybe turn into a shit show since they've been here for sure. Yep. Pretty sure things will go very well. Olka said, do you think Surah 2, 72, and 73 is a twisted version of Deuteronomy 21, 1-9? Maybe it was the Jews who told Mo this version to see if he will use it. David, do you want to look that up while I skip to some other thing? Or what? Surah 2, 72, and Deuteronomy 21, 1-9.
Hang on. Got to pull all this up.
Why would you pull all that up?
Computer's acting up here.
Beast. That's what computers do. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. Joel Everest, AP tries his best to speak the different languages in the subchats, Germanic, Turk. David Wood doesn't try and sounds like a Swede American. Do you draw your own conclusion? Brotje mit Kasin. Brotje mit Kas. Huh. Brotje mit Kas. Wait, that means bread with cheese, doesn't it? Brotje mit Kas. That means bread with cheese, right? In Dutch. Love your live streams. I watched them all. And I'm proud of that. That's good.
We're proud of that.
Olka, yeah, we'll get back to it. David, did you look it up? 5 silver pesos said, AP, don't lose hope. Research the Battle of Lepanto. It was a military and spiritual victory. I will research it just for you. I will research it just for you. Hey, I know about this. Of course I know about this. I know about this battle. I learned about this in school. Battle between the Ottoman Empire and the Republic of Venice and the Spanish Empire and parts of the Holy Roman Empire. I learned about this when I was in Turkey. It was a long, long time ago. Huh. But why did you bring this up? I don't remember the point of this at all. Ottoman forces were sailing westward from the naval station in the Poncho. They met the fleet of the Holy League, which was sailing east from Messina, Sicily. Victory is of great importance in the history of Europe and of the Ottoman Empire, with the Ottoman fleet almost completely destroyed, marking the turning point of Ottoman military expansion into the Mediterranean. All of the Ottoman wars in Europe would continue for another century. Okay, now I get it. It has long been compared to the Battle of Salamis, both for its tactical parallels and for its crucial importance in the defense of Europe against imperial expansion. That's a very nice reminder. Thank you. 5 silver pesos. I actually appreciate this. I actually appreciate this, and I will restudy. How about that? Mega Power Senani says, half A and B, great work. What does this say? Can I not read? 1, 2, A, B, great work. From Indian. There's some symbol that I can see here. From Indian. It's established worldwide about their intentions, one and only God versus Kafirs. On top of great work you're doing, focus need to be on how to protect any country's laws from them. Make Sharia proof. No. Just wait and sit there and see what happens. Just sit there and see what happens. You know, things will eventually change. It will get better. Just look for the next election. Go on a march. Wave a flag. Say, I'm proud to be British. Say, I will never allow Islamization. Things will change, sure. Somehow, I don't know how. Tanky's at AP.
A little side note, yeah. So anyway, I looked up some Muslim commentators, but yes, that is considered a condensed version of Deuteronomy 21.
Beast. What is it about?
It's it's about the killing of a cow and so on. Some people are like connected to the red heifer thing and so on. But yeah.
Do they choose the cow in the end, or what is it?
Yeah, everyone chooses the cow.
I will choose the cow. I will choose the cow. I will choose the cow if I really have to choose one. I know what I'll do. I'll choose the cow. Tanky said, AP, I know how to cheer you up. Search up fatties for Palestine. I saw those memes. I don't want to look at them. I saw a bunch of people sharing weird people protesting for Palestine, and I don't want to look at that anymore. I don't want to see that anymore. Even Lord says, AP, I think the reason Nick supports Muslims is because he wants to destroy Western culture with them to remake the West in a fascist way. I hope he destroys himself one day. Mumu Joe, David would have some faith, Bo. People learning about Islam should help, but there are millions that will accept the ugly aspect of Islam just for the sake of taking down the Jews. You don't see how that helps increase Islam's power. Yeah, David, have some positivity. What does this mean?
What do you mean have some faith? You can criticize Islam all you want. People are just going to accept it, and that's going to strengthen Islam for taking down the Jews. So what do I need to have faith in? The complete inability of anyone to ever confront Islam? Yes, I do have faith in that.
Man, be a little bit optimistic, man. Like, what is this whole no hope thing? This is not cool. Jack said maybe you guys can connect with Mahir Tusi in UK. He's someone who doesn't keep quiet. So then people even try to kidnap him. He has to wear a stab vest when he's out and about. That sounds so funny. Stab vest. Because we're talking
He
about
seems
the
like a smart
UK.
guy.
Yeah,
I've only
yeah.
watched like 2 of his videos, but they were good.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy. Maybe we should get in touch. and see what
Mahir, get out while you can.
Mahir, there is no hope.
The stab vest is not going to work forever. Get out while you can.
There's no hope. I found this tweet funny. Therese M. Kalman said, "Can you ask why Andrew blocked me, please?" And Kunta said, "Probably because you're over 16." People are savages. People are savages. Wait, is this the same video that is this the same thing that I just saw earlier?
Said the exact same thing that he had. Tucker Carlson said the exact same thing that he had basically full editorial,
which is supposed to be something you guys are against. I thought.
Okay, this is the same thing that we just watched, that we just listened to. Yes.
Wait, was that on Twitter Spaces? Why was it a video?
No, this is what Destiny does is he goes into spaces, but he at the same time he also
records himself. Oh, okay.
To his own audience, so
That's
they are
smart.
watching.
That's smart. That's actually very smart because I was like, why? How's people going to just watch some audio stuff? That's smart. You could jump in there and then record yourself. And
Yeah, this is what real streamers do.
Man, you had Myron, Sneeko, Destiny. That's
all the winners.
Andrew Tate. That should have got a ton of listeners.
It did. It had lots of listeners.
Oh, and Alex Jones. My goodness.
What Alex Jones? Where? Where's
That's
Alex
what it's in the title. Alex Jones. Live with Nick Fuentes with Tate, Alex Jones, Destiny, Sneeko.
Yeah. I saw this tweet here at some point and I liked it, although I don't agree with it completely. It said the combined IQ in the space reaches the low 40s. And although there are some individuals here where I would say, yeah, I wouldn't count them as part of that. But still, the overall message seems quite okay. Anyway, but the smartest here definitely is Suleiman Ahmed. Very, 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 very much well-respected investigative journalist. And coming.
No, as far as the IQ there, I mean, there are obviously some very, very intelligent people who are evil, and that kind of goes back to what Immanuel Kant said, that the only thing that's really good in an unqualified sense is a good will, because anything else could actually be bad in certain circumstances. So it's just like the example of intelligence. Intelligence is good. Well, what if it's attached to an evil person who wants to destroy the world? Well, then intelligence is actually bad because it's connected to a bad will. And so the view is that if you have a person with a bad will, then things that would normally be good things, intelligence or wealth or something like that, are actually bad. So yeah, you can't just say just because someone's saying evil, horrible, evil stuff that the person is dumb. It actually sucks that very frequently the people are smart, and if you have an evil person who's also very intelligent, you get some really bad results.
Wrong. They're all dumb. So, here's another person who is. I think maybe I was a little bit too pessimistic.
This is.
So let's have this guy tell us what's going to happen.
Britain is Darul Haram because they are, anathema to God's law. They're not implementing it. They're violating His sanctity, and therefore, this is war against Allah and His Messenger. We are obliged as Muslims to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement the Sharia. Now, I hope that can come in a very peaceful way.
And you
I hope that we can do that in a way, where there's no bloodshed. The Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if the people.
Did you hear that? We hope we can do that in a peaceful way without bloodshed.
Yeah, and
he doesn't say that's how we're going to do it. He says we hope we can.
Yeah,
do
since it's inevitable, we should agree with him that we hope that the takeover of the United Kingdom is peaceful as possible. It's a peaceful transition of power. But yeah, so let's just hope that the caliphate is established peacefully and not violently.
Well, if the Muslims have authority and they have the ability to remove oppression, they must remove the oppression. So we believe man-made law is oppression because they are implementing non-Islamic law, violating their own sanctity. So, if we are in a position of power and authority, we are obliged to take that authority, with the minimum force and to implement the Sharia, certainly. So, this will be the case one day in Britain.
And when you talk about
It
jihad,
will. We agree.
It will.
It will be the
It will.
case.
It will be the
It shall
case.
be done. It shall be done. Get
But
out while you can.
This is how you can twist the situation. Like Islam does this specifically. You speak of harm, we're not supposed to do harm, and by harm, what is meant is like some severe physical harm. You're not supposed to kill innocent people, but what is meant by innocent is somebody who, for example, doesn't say something bad about Islam. If you say something bad about Islam, you are no longer innocent. You can be killed. He says oppression. What he means by oppression is the Islamic definition of oppression, which is preventing Islamic law. And Muslims have the obligation to fight oppression, which means if Muslims are high in numbers and they have the means to fight a secular system which prevents, or a Christian system which prevents the establishment of Islamic law, then they are obligated, traditionally speaking, by Islamic law to fight it and to implement Islamic law. And which is why, according to this view, if Muslims have a high population in the UK, if they get to that point where they can finally engage in such a war, they will gladly do it and implement Sharia and force you to abide by its rules. And if you don't abide by it, then you will be in trouble, my friend.
you're not talking about spiritual striving. You're talking about military jihad.
No, I think there are two types of jihad in which people are engaging in today. One is the jihad of the word, and the other is jihad of the sword. So in Britain, we are engaged in the jihad of the word. And, it's as important to remove the ideological foundation and, if you like, the pillars of Western civilization, like democracy and freedom and secularism, and to expose them and to bring back people to worshipping the one true Lord, which is Allah, as much as it is important to remove.
Do you hear that? One of the things is freedom. Freedom is bad.
The physical obstacles, which is the non-Islamic regimes, the occupying forces, the Republican Guard, which support those leaders in our own countries.
Did he say the Republican Guard? Is that what he said? He said the Republican Guard.
This is the Republican Guard, which support those leaders in our own countries.
What do you think the timetable is for implementing Sharia in Great Britain? Do you feel like you're getting close?
I would point towards Tunisia and Egypt and these countries to show you how quickly things can change. It could be in a year or 5 years where people could be, rejecting the kind of liberal democracy. They're unhappy because, the basic needs are not being met. They're looking for alternatives. And, revolutions happen very quickly. So, I don't know how quickly the Sharia will come, perhaps in 5 years, perhaps in 10 years. Demographically speaking, even within the next 15 or 20 years, Islam could be, the major religion of countries like Britain and Belgium and France and these other European nations.
You hear that?
Yeah, and guys, you can do it. You could do it peacefully now. You could do it peacefully now by converting and handing over power, rather than waiting till later when, if you don't submit peacefully, then they're just going to slaughter you. So it's better to be a Muslim, or at least to be a pet, than to be slaughtered by them.
Yeah. This guy openly says it because he's not afraid of the consequences, and he believes that Allah is with him, and if it's meant to be, it will happen, and he believes it will. So he does predict and hope that in a very, very near future, the UK, Belgium, France, and other nations will be turned into Islamic nations, and Islam will become the dominant power. And I'm sorry, but I don't think that at this point people in these countries are smart enough or awake enough to actually see this or prevent it or put an end to it. I mean, what happens? You draw the attention of the government and of counter-terrorism and counter-extremism forces to terrorists, to extremists. You report people who openly say, yes, my friend, we want to multiply and we want to implement Sharia as soon as possible. The anti-terrorism forces in the UK think, oh yeah, but it's just them expressing their religious beliefs, in it. So we shouldn't be too angry about that, mate. They can say whatever they want, and we don't want to arrest them because that would be Islamophobic. Look at what's the over there? Somebody's insulting Muslims. Go arrest him right now. You're stupid. It's a stupid nation, stupid people. You'll get taken over like that. Prove me wrong. If you're offended by that, just tell me I'm wrong and then prove me wrong.
You're not.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Oh, no, don't insult. People are not like that. No, they will stand up. Yeah, show me. Show me. Prove it. Yeshua's Malite says, suppose a former Western country is dominated by Islamic citizens, 50%, then what is the possibility that a radical violent movement rises up to restore the country to its former status quo? 50%. At 50%, you are far too late.
You're far too late now.
At 50%, there is no return. That's a ridiculous scenario.
Yeah.
If you want to see what happens in such situations, look at Nigeria. Look at Lebanon. 50%. Not sure what you're thinking.
Yeah, even if it's 6 or 8%, you're already screwed. So it's too late.
Yes. Jax, Frank is legend, and his intelligence, humor, and truth is next level. Indeed, Frank is legendary. No idea who that is, but yes. Sid Dave said Muslims in India inflicted a religion partition on India. If Muslims can't live in peace with Hindus in India, Christians in Nigeria, then how can you expect the same Muslims to become French and British? No, you just have to vote for another party and hope that they will make things right, Yeah, how about we just vote for whatever, what's that party called? Let's vote for Nigel Farage, innit? He'll fix it. He'll fix it. My boy Nigel Farage will fix it, mate. It's just now, maybe this one time. Yeah, let's unite and vote for the Tories again. Yeah, let them make things right. Yeah, that's how you're gonna get the 50% soon. MP Fuentes said that he never would accept Muslims in the government of his ideal state. That coalition makes no sense at all. It's laughable.
No. The coalition that's false. The coalition makes perfect sense. It's let's get rid of Jews in all these countries. So Muslims and Christians unite, get rid of all Jews, and then the United States is going to be this white Christian Catholic nation, and other places will be Muslim. So no, there's no. Yeah, he could say there's no Muslims in my ideal state, just like Daniel Hakikachu would say that Islam is going to dominate over here. These guys can work together, and then say, okay, you have your state over here, and I'll have our state over here, and maybe we'll want to fight and establish who controls the entire world. But they can. There's no. The alliance makes sense right now because they both agree get rid of the Jews.
Ethel Wolf said, AP, you ran to the US like a pussy. Hey, I really appreciate that you're using these original ancient names and really respecting your traditions and your culture over there. I'm not even sure if you are actually in Britain. I don't know. Maybe you're just putting on a thing and act here and you live somewhere else comfortably. I have no idea. It's very cool. The fact that you use a certain username and a profile picture really shows me that you will probably save the UK in the near future. Good job. You're doing a fantastic job. You are going to make the change. That's what it looks like to me. As for me, yes, I did run to the US, but I'm not sure what exactly you're implying.
He's responding to what you were saying earlier, because I'm saying get out while you can, leave, everyone come to the United States, the entire rest of the world who's all about to be dominated by Islam, come to the United States as like the last line of defense for a few years before we're dominated too. And you're saying, no, go down with the ship. And he's pointing out, you didn't go down with the ship, you got out. So yes, exactly. AP got out. The rest of you should get out too. Get out while you can. Get out while you can.
There was no ship for me to go down with. I was in Turkey. Of course, I left
Turkey. You could go down with that ship. Oh, okay.
I don't care about Turkey. I don't care about Turkey at all. Turkey can go. Yeah. Okay. Sid Dave, Muslims in India inflicted the religious. I already read this. What's wrong with you, man? MP said Fuentes said. I already read this too. Fuentes is an imbecile. Bear Lamb, to celebrate your show, I'm having a German delicacy called Met. If AP can explain what Met is, I can't explain it. I can only.
Is it like schnitzel? Is it like rouladen?
It looks like pigs.
Oh.
It's called Hackpeter.
No, it's Struwwelpeter.
Hackpeter.
Struwwelpeter.
How am I even supposed to describe what that is? I never had it. Never had it when I was in Germany. There are some beautiful pictures when you actually Google it. Look at this. What in tarnation? Yeah, that's what it is. That's
minced raw pork seasoned with salt and black pepper. It kind of looks like mashed up Spam.
It looks like death and destruction.
They eat it raw though.
Yeah. Yes.
That's like the French. They call it steak tartare, but it's basically raw ground beef. Tastes delicious, but yeah, you want to make sure you got someone preparing it correctly.
Yeah. When I was in the Emirate of Germany, I never had it myself. Because majorities inevitably and their intentions on becoming majority group are crystal clear. Deport them, kick them out, who want to work legally or naturalized citizens. Lawmaking only works.
No,
it's too late, man.
Don't kick them out. You get out while you can. Or go down with the ship. Either one. Those are your options.
It ain't gonna work, man.
There's nothing you can do.
Mark Roman said, AP, please watch a video of Martinelli, who just won a local election in the UK under the Green Party and became local MP, shouting Allah Akbar in the end. It's absolutely surreal. It's only 3 minutes. Yeah, I think I did earlier, right? That's the guy that I watched. But yeah, maybe if enough people online watch it and say, OMG, I can't believe this, maybe the problem will be solved as a result. Carl Scher said, hey, AP, if UK or any other country bans practicing Islamic rituals, then Sharia compels Muslims to emigrate during Hijrah, right? It already compels. The Quran tells Muslims to, if they complain that they were not able to practice their religion, it says, why did you not emigrate? Was the world of Allah not big enough for you? So they're already told to go somewhere else. However, Muslims don't care about that at the moment, because there is currently the opportunity or the chance of just changing things. Democracy is a very, very nice tool when you use it for your own benefit. That's also what Hitler thought, by the way. Somebody with a Hebrew name, which I shall not be able to read because I'm trying as good as I can to hide the fact that I'm actually a Jewish person from Israel working for the Mossad as an infiltrator, says Christians had Copernicus, Jews had Nietzsche.
The heck is this?
Muslims could have the Apostate Prophet. Why don't you accept you as the last prophet? Shlomi Shaul. Yes. Jews had everyone, man. Not Nietzsche, though. Sheikh Yardik says, why are Poland and Hungary the only Euro countries that seen this coming? Wouldn't say that they're the only ones. And Poland is currently not in the best situation. Poland is undergoing change.
Yeah, Poland and Hungary.
This makes me hungry.
The reason they knew more than the rest of Europe was that they had to deal with it more recently and for a longer period of time. In other words, they were constantly stopping invasions of Europe from the Ottoman Empire.
In other words,
centuries. They spent centuries fighting the Ottomans who kept trying to invade Europe. So when they're thinking, oh, hey, a bunch of Muslims want to come into Europe, it's still in their they still know about it. They still know what they spent centuries doing. Whereas the rest of Europe, what are they thinking about? The Battle of Tours, like 1 trillion years ago? It's like, oh no, that was just a thing way back in the day. So it's not. It's people forget really quickly.
Fly me to the moon. Well, the thing is, Poland did have a great history of fighting with the Ottomans, and Polish people have been more loyal to the whole tradition of learning and being proud of their history, of fighting back and all that, compared to the more Western European, the German and Austrian people who learn to shame and blame themselves. I mean, you could point out that, for example, in Vienna, in Austria, you have monuments to remember the heroic people who fought off the Ottomans when they came in the 17th century to conquer Vienna, and they fought them off, and this is a matter of pride. But now the very same people are basically just bending over.
Oh yeah, and basically, don't put your hope in Poland and Hungary either. They're doomed as well. They might be slightly delayed, but they are very soon going to be surrounded on all sides by Islamic nations trying to take control from them. So, and more advanced nations. There will be more advanced Islamic nations all around them. So they're screwed too. All you Polish people out there, get out while you can. Come to the U.S. as your last refuge. You are doomed where you stand. It does not matter what you do. It does not matter what your politicians and your journalists say. You are screwed.
People aren't going to take this as serious advice.
Either go down with the ship or get out while you can.
Look at this beauty here. Look at this beauty here. It's a Battle of Vienna. Look at this beauty here. Ottoman Empire fighting against Poland and Lithuania. The Kingdom of Poland and Lithuania, and members of the Holy Roman Empire, Austria, Bavaria, Saxony, Franconia, Swabia. And it was actually a very close call. They weren't aware of the severity of the situation, but they saved it and prevented the Ottomans from taking Vienna.
Yeah, see, if they had just given up and realized it's ultimately hopeless, if they just given up and realized that it's ultimately hopeless, then we could be past this by now, and we could all be Islamic, and we wouldn't even have to be having this disagreement right now.
I would like to say that that's an interesting comparison. However, these people, they were not like the people today. These people were actually proudly.
Yeah, people have different
European
ideas. They have different ideas in their heads. We agree, but ideas once you have an idea, and people can't change. AP, people can't change. Even though you're saying these people are very different from the people now, and therefore people have changed. Once you've changed to what you are now, there is no future hope of change. People of Europe, get out while you can. Get somewhere else. I recommend the United States, because Canada's already screwed too. It's not going to last forever, but if Nick Fuentes can just take over the U.S., maybe we'll have our powerful Christian nation.
Yeah, Nazi nation.
And that Nick Fuentes, you can look in his eyes and say, that dude's willing to fight, and it would be a great warrior.
He's willing to kiss little boys and fight for his right to kiss little boys and hate Jews. I'm afraid that the English might lump all of us immigrants together. The UK must understand the difference between Islamic people and the rest. This is also a problem that happens in the US, where Sikh people are attacked because they're confused for Muslims. But that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, it's an issue, but I mean, notice. I mean, as far as you've got stupid people who can't tell the difference between a Muslim and a Sikh person, but for all the people who say, "Oh, if you criticize Islam, it's just because you're racist against brown people." Notice, I mean, how many times do you hear people actually complaining about Hindus where they go, or Sikhs where they go? It should be the exact same. It should be the exact same problem. Again, keep in mind, you can have people who don't know the difference and so on. But as far as what people are actually complaining about, where do you hear people complaining about Sikhs or Hindus or anyone? You usually don't. Why? Because they're not trying to take over the world.
Yeah, you seek and you shall find. Jared Gilmore says, AP, I know things seem bad, but even more people are waking up. My dad, who only ever held the mainstream line on Islam, recently asked me for references on Islamic history. I pointed him to Robert Spencer.
No,
People are waking up.
It's too late, Jared. Tell your dad, pack it up, start packing now. Get the heck out of there while he can.
But people are really taking it seriously.
It's too late. Trajectories cannot be altered in any way. Look at the birth rates. Look at the immigration rates. Can any of this ever change? No. Can people's attitudes change? No. Give up now. I don't even know why I'm telling you to give up, because it doesn't matter what you do. You can give up, you're screwed. You cannot give up, you're screwed. Either way, you're just screwed. You're just screwed, people of Europe. Come to America. I hope you come to America and take over California. I'll give you California.
I will give you Oregon. Jesse, do you guys think there will be a huge construction project in southwestern Israel in 12 months where billions of dollars will be made, or will it be a mud hut Gaza for years to come? I believe, as far as we know Israel, that there will be a lot of construction to rebuild Gaza.
Yes, the entire world will come together to rebuild Gaza, hoping that nothing goes wrong in the future.
That's certainly what the world is trying to do right now, actually. So
that's exactly what's going to happen. Israel's going to insist on, unless something changes in the very near future, Israel is going to demand that, hey, we keep going after Hamas until Hamas is completely wiped out, and we have every single hostage who's still alive returned to us. After that, Israel will demand that there are some sort of government controls over the area, but will allow the entire world to kind of come together and rebuild Gaza,
in hopes that
and then the entire world will be, and then in hopes that whatever happens, it's not going to be another terrorist group that.
Well, this time will be different. This time it might work. This time it might be a little bit different. No, what Israel should be doing is to take complete control and give no autonomy over Gaza to anyone anymore, and keep it as an occupied zone. Educate the people to prevent them from forming another force, an evil force like Hamas. What else are you going to do? Tell them, oh, you know what, guys? Just like back in 2005. How about, guys, we leave, and we just leave you to it, and you just, you run an election and see what happens, yeah? And we'll just be over there across the border. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I would, if I were Israel, I would continue until Hamas is completely destroyed. I would cover every square inch of that place, go through every tunnel until I make sure that every hostage who's still alive has been returned, and every body of every hostage who died in captivity has been returned. And then I would allow governments of the world to unite in rebuilding Gaza. But I would insist on one thing. In every town or city, there has to be one giant sign, glaringly visible to everyone in the city, that says, if someone's telling you to plan an attack on Israel, remember what happened the last time you tried it. And I would make sure that everyone every day sees that constant reminder. When someone's telling you to attack Israel, remember what happened last time. You've been warned. And that way, when they get their new building, do we want to keep this new building? Yeah. All right. Maybe we shouldn't go around and kill a bunch of people over on the other side of that fence.
Vanguards of Liberation martyr Mohammed Saleh group, who claimed responsibility for the killing of the Israeli businessman in Alexandria, Egypt, released this photo from their operation. Caption reads, "Shalom from the children of Gaza." Here, look at this. Vanguards of Liberation claimed responsibility for the killing of the Israeli businessman in Alexandria, Egypt, released this photo from the operation. Caption reads, "Shalom from the children of Gaza." Why is
That's like Call of Duty style.
everyone who is on social media and who actually does this and this
Israeli
and stuff like that should be immediately put on a list and be banned from traveling through Western countries?
Why? It's pointless.
Permanently.
It's
Shut them
too
all
late.
down. Look at it. This is
No,
what these
get
cowards
it
do.
over. Get it over with. Give them control. It's too late.
This is what these cowards do. They're like, "Oh, look, we will win. We will win. We will win. We will show the Zionists," and then they actually go and kill a civilian man in Egypt. In Egypt, and people are celebrating this. Israel, please give them hell. Give them hell. Don't listen to the rest of the world. Don't listen to the rest of the world. Give them hell. Nobody cares about you. Jews, nobody cares about you. The world doesn't care about you. The world doesn't help you. The world wasn't there to help Jews when Jews were being genocided, when Jews went through the Holocaust. Yeah, the narrative is, of course, the Allied forces came and they liberated the camps. The Soviet Union came and they liberated the camps, and they put an end to the Holocaust. Yeah, how many years into it was that? It was the knowledge that Jews are being discriminated against and put into camps and being killed and so on was already out there. And Britain was still trying to keep peace and negotiate. America was busy with, let's just stay out. Let's just stay out and wait till something significant happens. Western nations were just looking for. France was looking for their own thing, whatever. They were just sitting there, standing by and looking, watching. Supposedly the Soviets came and liberated the the concentration camps. Yeah, and why did the Soviets come? Not because they care so much about Jews. They came because they collaborated with Germany, and Nazi Germany, betrayed them and broke the treaty. They were friends. They were working together. Yes, Nazi Germany and Soviet Russia, the Soviet Union, signed the treaty, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and were working together and dividing control of Eastern Europe among themselves. Because the Nazi Germany betrayed them and started a war, the Soviet Union fought back. And that's how the liberation of the concentration camps happened. Otherwise, the Soviets didn't have any interest in liberating Jews. Who cares about Jews? Stalin didn't care about Jews. Stalin hated Jews. He saw them as troublemakers who probably want to make the Soviet Union collapse and turn it into a capitalist heaven once again. On the other side, they were saying, "Oh, Jews are problematic. They want to make things collapse and turn it into a communist country." The world didn't care about your suffering when you were almost being eradicated, or significant parts of your population was being eradicated. Nobody cared. Right now, when people are actually acting like they're on your side, including these major countries, they don't care about you either. They will watch you die. And after you're dead, after Israel is defeated, and after your people are almost entirely eradicated, they will make movies about you, about how dramatic and how bad it was, and how we should never ever let such a thing happen again. But first they will let you die. They don't care about you. They won't be there to defend you and to save you when you are being destroyed. So you need to look out for yourselves. Give them hell.
Yeah, but just keep in mind that in a few years, tons of European nations are going to be Islamic, and they're going to be coming for you too. So kind of a matter of time. So don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, definitely. knows too much. Hussein was to oversee the Hebrew genocide across the entire Islamic world. Had the Nazis won the war, he received the rank of SS general from Himmler for recruiting Muslims, mostly Bosnian, into the SS. Yes, and he was also given a direct promise by Hitler to come into the Arab world and to eradicate the Jewish elements there as well. These are the same people who are now celebrated as the Palestinians.
Yeah. So he delayed the inevitable for a little while, but not for long.
Stop with the joke, man. Stop with it. David the Skeptic said, Die Kuh, vor allem will ich die Kuh. Yes.
Everyone loves the cow.
Urinating broom. It seems Muslims in the US integrate much better. Oh, yeah, on average, they actually do, because it's far away from home.
Yeah, and it's a different percentage of the population.
Yes.
You have about 1%. You have about 1% of the population, and spread out over. I mean, you have areas like Dearborn where you have high concentrations and so on, but generally you got Muslims spread out among 1% of the population spread over a massive, giant country. In the UK and in France and so on, now all of a sudden you have cities where 30-40% of the population are Muslim. They'll tend to vote as a bloc, but it's not really just about better integrating. It's just kind of what stage you're in, what kind of stage you're in.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, Muslims in the United States are more like the situation Muhammad was in when he was a tiny percentage of the population of Mecca and couldn't have hoped to win a confrontation with the unbelievers, and therefore, hey, peace and tolerance. Muslims in, let's say, the UK and France and so on are more like the situation Muhammad was in when he moved to Medina, and he wasn't strong enough to subjugate the city yet, but he was strong enough to wage defensive jihad and to start, killing opposition and so on. So yeah, it all goes back to the pattern of Muhammad.
Why are people talking about super chats? I don't understand what's going on. Somebody said super chat. Somebody said super chat backlog. Carfer, what is happening? I don't get it. Yeah, there's just a bunch of super chats, and I'm just reading them. Failed cavalry charge said, David, how can you say the U.S. has a few years after Europe? America's strapped. They wouldn't make it past the Appalachians. In an American Jew with pews. I'm an American Jew with pews. I appreciate you and the Space Marine Turk. See, I told you they're going to take it seriously.
What do you mean? Only has a few years after Europe. Once the entire world converts to Islam and the United States is the last remaining country, how long do you think you can resist, especially when Americans are fighting over what a girl is the entire time?
Whoa, yeah.
Give it up.
Important conversation.
Move here while you can, but it will not last. But maybe you get to spend maybe you get to live out another few decades or something like that before you're violently.
Are the funniest, man. Americans are the funniest of all. Like, the world is burning, and Americans are discussing about Hunter Biden and Donald Trump's deal with a porn star. Prandeep Singh says, I'm afraid that the English might lump all of us immigrants together. David the Goliath said, Muslims will unleash forces in Europe and other parts of the world, like India, which they will surely regret. I don't want concentration camps reopening. I don't want them either. But maybe the Americans can prevent that by discussing more about Hunter Biden's laptop and Hillary Clinton's emails and Donald Trump's hush money with Stormy Daniels and all that. Soon the future is bright. Terra 12, everything is over. Now we ask the age-old question: how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? There you go.
No, there is an old answer to that as well that also kind of rhymes like that, but I forget what it is.
Oh, yeah. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? If a woodchuck could chuck. Did I say that correctly? Wow, I'm actually impressed.
Yes, that's an old saying, and there's an answer to it.
Yeah, I know. There's that. I know that's an old saying. Yes, searching deeper, but you're supposed to say it. I bet you can't. That's why I'm challenging you.
She just asked you. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Everyone grew up saying that like a million times.
Okay. Searching deeper said atheism seems to facilitate spread of Islam due to ignoring some fundamental facts. Solution: evangelize Muslims to Jesus, since now we can reach them. Stop blaming the atheists, man.
And it's too late.
Misha Margolin said, I used to watch your live streams on time in Reem as a reservist with the sound of Israeli jets in the background. Nothing as atmospheric as this. Wow. Well, stay strong and continue.
While it lasts.
Tallygraph said, upon the fall of your enemy, do not rejoice. Proverbs 24, we Jews take it literally. Yep. Sid Dave, Islamic strategy, join leftist parties, become advocates for multiculturalism, secularism, import more Muslims, and eventually run a parallel society. It's just, it disgusts me. I mean, they actually join a Green Party. Man, it's so how pathetic can you be, man? How pathetic can you be? And then you are proud and you're like, oh, Islam's strong. Islam's strong. Let me join the Green Party and pretend to be for peace and love and economy and nature and this and that and Allahu Akbar. Islamic strategy. I already read this. What's wrong with you? Majima Gora said, if the trajectory continues as it is, the Jews will genocide everyone. Just yesterday, a Christian was killed by one. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Didn't know that genocide works like that. Rebecca, hey, Rebecca, what's up? Rebecca, why are you making a super chat? Good to see Rebecca here. Shout out to her, by the way. I see the ideal then is that the West will get the Palestinians and Israel will Western Jews. Okay, I can live with that. Grandparents come here. Yay. Yep, that's how it's going to be. That's the future. That's the solution. Paolo Lungaro said Palestinians killed Jesus. They did indeed. They did. They did. They did. Paolo Lungaro, I'm in the works of making a Quran printed TP. Who wants to sponsor me? I think one of those brands, what is it, Charm or something like that. You could probably advertise this to them. They could make some Quran toilet paper. Jack's Nazi fans and anti-Semitic peeps, please do us a favor and leave. Yeah, absolutely. Get the hell out of here. Nazis.
Get the hell out of here!
Where's my goat go? Where's my goat? Goat, go. Where's my goat, man? Man, where's my goat? You know that movie? Do you know that movie? Man, where's my goat? I really can't find my goat. I don't know.
It's Dude, Where's My Goat?
Oh, Dude, Where's My Goat? Yes. Exactly that movie. I don't know where it went. I can't find it. Interesting. I just had it right here. Where could it possibly go? That's weird. Oh, it's on the ground. It fell down. That's right here. Okay. All right. 1, 2, and 3.
Screaming Goats podcast.
A.D. Acevedo said that Dizzle, I wrote out some dope lyrics based on you, flow, and style. Would you want to record it? You'll say it. If I'll send it to you. TikTok, time to rock.
Well, some people say they have dope rhymes and then they send me garbage rhymes. But yeah, you can send it to me and I'll decide whether it's good or not.
It's probably better than Dr. Seuss, so your mind will be blown.
Knows too much said the Islamic Palestinist role in the Hebrew genocide by the Nazis is often deliberately whitewashed and obscured. Islam and Nazism are similar. Well, definitely in that regard. They're both very authoritarian and totalitarian, and they're also very Jew-hating, aren't they? When at one point the Nazis had the upper hand in North Africa, Husseini had an SS unit flown to Libya preparing to execute the Hebrew genocide in North Africa. I believe that. Yeah. Knows to much that by al-Husseini's initiative, there was a Nazi plot to poison the water sources near Tel Aviv, which was thwarted. Alhamdulillah. And now Tel Aviv is a beautiful place and Gaza is not. Paolo Luangaro said, AP, David, will the USA fall to Islam like the UK will?
Yes, inevitably.
No.
Because all we do is back down and that's never going to change.
The USA will never fail.
Quit giving people false hope, AP, was a serious issue. We are all doomed. It is a matter of time. That's physics, ladies and gentlemen. It's basic mathematics.
But as long as Americans focus on Hunter Biden and Donald Trump's hush money for Stormy Daniels, I don't think that the US can fall. This is what keeps America strong and safe and secure and alive. And gender roles and pronouns and all of these things. This is, I don't know, I have hope. Knows too much said majority of Palestinians, Muslims, migrants, invaders from surrounding lands and farther places, mostly from recent centuries. Inshallah, alhamdulillah. Goat noise enjoyer. Have you seen their 18 demands? You mean Hamas? I didn't look at the whole thing. I just
They're making demand. That's
wait. No, this is about something else, isn't it? What is this? For Starmer. The Muslim vote, which aims to organize voters against MPs who did not back a ceasefire in the conflict, has called for the Labour leader to apologize for his early stance on Israel's campaign against Hamas. Wait a minute. I wasn't even aware of this. I'm not looking at the UK at all because there is simply no hope. But I wasn't aware of this. Muslim Vote Group issues 18 demands to Starmer from the Labour Party. What are the 18 demands? I don't even see. Why? I hate when news articles do this thing. Okay, here I have it. Let's go through this. 18 demands. The Muslim Vote's list of demands is below. 1. Apologize for your comments greenlighting a genocide and for not making the ceasefire in October and November 2023. Apologize now.
Do it. Get it over with.
I would do this immediately. I would say, okay, sorry. What next?
No, do it sincerely.
2. Sanctions on companies operating in occupied territories. Sanctions on settlers.
Do it.
Recognize Palestine as a state.
Do it. Get it over with.
Travel ban on all Israeli politicians that prosecuted this war and support the illegal occupation.
Do it.
End military ties with Israel.
Do it.
Issue guidance that Muslims are allowed to pray at school. What in the hell does this have to do with anything? But of course, it's the Muslim vote. The Muslim vote for the Labour Party. This is how they use leftist parties. Implement findings of people's review of prevent, not chakras.
I don't know what that is, but do it.
Remove the extremism definition that Michael Gove introduced.
I don't know what the definition is, but do it.
I remember something on that. New definition of extremism. Let's see what it says. Behavior. The definition of extremism. Let's see what it says. The definition of extremism is the promotion or advancement of an ideology based on violence, hatred, or intolerance that aims to negate or destroy the fundamental rights and freedoms of others, or undermine, overturn, or replace the UK's system of liberal parliamentary democracy and democratic rights, or intentionally create a permissive environment for others to achieve the results. The types of behavior below are indicative of the kind of promotion or advancement which may be relevant to the definition and are an important guide to its application. The further context below is am I getting this right? Is this actually the definition that they're talking about? Because if so, then who in the hell would oppose this and demand that it's repealed unless they have really ulterior motives and all that? I don't know. I need to know more about the politics behind all this garbage that's happening here. Somebody let me know. Somebody knows something more about the UK politics, please. Chime in and let me know about what's going on here. Commit to full implementation of Royal Charter re-media regulation.
Not sure what that is, but do it.
Adopt the ARPG. Look, it already sounds very violent.
Definition of Islamophobia. I hope the definition is any criticism of Islam shall be met with legal prosecution, in
Or
which
what is
case,
APPG?
do it. Do
It's
it.
APPG. Let's see. APPG, All Party Parliamentary Group and British Muslim Definition of Islamophobia. The report contained the following definition: Islamophobia is rooted in racism and is a type of racism that targets expression of Muslimness or perceived Muslimness. Contemporary examples of Islamophobia in public life, the media, schools, the workplace, and encounter between religious and non-religious, taking into account the overall context, include but are not limited to calling for, aiding, instigating, or justifying the killing or harming of Muslims in the name of a racist, fascist ideology or an extremist view of religion. Okay. Making mendacious, dehumanizing, demonizing, or stereotypical allegations about Muslims as such or of Muslims as a collective group, such as especially but not exclusively conspiracies about Muslim entryism in politics.
Yeah, you need to make this illegal. To say that Muslims are trying to take over in politics and trying to take over areas and trying to and telling people, hey, if you don't like it, get out of your country.
Government or other societal institutions. The myth of Muslim identity having a unique propensity for terrorism and claims of a demographic threat posed by Muslims or of a Muslim takeover.
Yeah, you can't be pointing out. I don't know. A lot of Muslims are basically Islamophobes, according to this definition, because they're, yes, we're going to take over. Look at the numbers. Ha, it's inevitable. It's the fastest growing religion. Isn't that weird? So they're going to, Muslims are Islamophobes, according to this.
What I'm just curious about is how is the Labour Party actually reacting to this garbage? Labour's Muslim vote, what the data so far says.
And I wonder what would happen if you took this definition and made this also. You replaced everything with Jews and made this the definition of anti-Semitism. Like treating Jews as a group, or being worried about the Jews, or worried about Jews doing things and so on.
This is just funny. This is conspiracies about Muslim entries and what conspiracies. We see it right there. We see them saying it right there openly. You talk about Jews. You have Muslims openly saying it. Man. Accusing Muslims as a group of being responsible for real or imagined wrongdoings committed by a single Muslim person. Look, these are talking points actually adopted from the thing. Pretty sure from the Holocaust Remembrance Alliance on Jews. It's like, how about we take those and apply it to Muslims? Accusing Muslims as a group of being responsible for real or imagined wrongdoing committed by a single Muslim person or group of Muslim individuals, or even for acts committed by non-Muslims. Okay. The thing is, when we talk about that definition, when it comes to Jews, the point of those, as you can also see on that list, is not that saying such things would be in and of itself wrong, but engaging in discrimination based on such things would be wrong. That's what the IHRA website, for example, says. IHRA working definition of anti-Semitism. So there is a difference here. Let's see. Denying, accusing Jews as a people. Anyway, what else does it say? Denying Muslim populations the right to self-determination by claiming that the existence of an independent Palestine or Kashmir is a terrorist endeavor. Of course. This is so funny because when we talk about Jews, and we talk about the one Jewish Israeli state, we are actually talking about Jews as one single ethno-religion, and about Israel as the one single Jewish state. There is not a multitude of Jewish states. There are not 50 Jewish states or 20 Jewish states. There is one Jewish state. And generally, Muslims will talk about Israel, or people who hate Jews will talk about Israel and mean Jews, or will talk about Jews and mean Israel, is often conflated. Nobody actually refers to Palestine or Palestinians when talking about Muslims, or Kashmir when talking about Muslims, or refers to Muslims when talking about Palestine or Kashmir. This is totally different from the whole Jew-Israel thing. This is such a pathetic attempt to equate themselves to Jews. by claiming that the existence of an independent Palestine or Kashmir is a terrorist endeavor, applying double standards by requiring of Muslim behaviors that are not expected or demanded of any other group, using the symbols and images associated with the
No. Don't leave that one out. You were getting to the best one.
Which one?
Right there.
Wait. Using the symbols and images associated with classic Islamophobia. For example, Muhammad being a pedophile. Claims of Muslims spreading Islam by the sword.
Yeah, never happened. Never happened. Islam was never spread by the sword.
Or subjugating minority groups under their rule.
They never. Yeah, it's not straight out of the Quran that minority groups have to be subjugated.
To characterize Muslims as being sex groomers, inherently violent, or incapable of living harmoniously in plural societies. Look, I would say, yeah, if doing this...
Yeah, I agree with that second part, that, yeah, if you're saying, hey, Muhammad's a pedophile, therefore Muslims are sex groomers and so on, what you can say is, because Muhammad was a pedophile, and there are some Muslims who take him very seriously as the pattern of conduct, this is going to give rise to some serious problems involving child marriage, which is exactly what you see. So just be careful how you say it. Don't say that all Muslims are sex groomers, and then you're going to go according to this.
But if I now say that, first of all, how is Muhammad was a pedophile a form of classic Islamophobia? It's real. How is Islam was spread by the sword a classic form of Islamophobia? It's a fact. It's an undeniable fact. Even Muslim scholars themselves acknowledge it. But so if I say Muhammad was a pedophile, and because of this, lots of Muslim apologists and preachers take him as moral conduct and thereby promote or defend pedophilia, does that mean I am being Islamophobic? Or is this okay? I want to know more. Wow, man. Yeah, I would never go ahead and say, yeah, Muhammad was a pedophile and, Islam was spread by the sword. That's why you shouldn't trust a single Muslim. That's not what I would say. I would, however, say, and I will say it right now, Muhammad was a pedophile and a child molester, rapist, murderer, warlord, and Islam spread by the sword mostly, and through the subjugation of other minority groups and so on. Of course, I'm not saying this to generalize Muslims and say that therefore this is on all Muslims. I'm just saying that these are facts. Yeah. As long as we can say that, everything is fine. Okay.
Yeah, get to the last one. Note the hypocrisy.
Holding Muslims collectively responsible for the actions of any Muslim majority state, whether secular or constitutionally Islamic. See, this is
because no one would ever hold Jews in general responsible for the actions of a Jewish state, of a Jewish majority state.
And this is what they're doing. This is just what I see when I see stuff like this. We know that Muslims do this all the time to Jews, and people see this and recognize it and reject it as hateful. So they're like, oh, so that's hateful. How about we also do the same thing with Muslims? How about we also make such a rule for Muslims? Okay, go ahead, do that. It's still you guys who are doing that to Jews all the time. Man, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Anyway, don't call them pathetic. That's Islamophobic. Commit to a review of public sector equality duty. Increase council and public health funding for 10% in deprived areas, whatever. Deliver alternative student finance. Ensure Sharia-compliant pensions are available at every workplace. So the 1/3 of Muslims without a pension get one. Ensure insurance quotes don't cost more for someone called Mohammed. Commit 7% of the local government pension scheme public sector pension to ethical and Islamic funds. These are nice demands. Oppose boycott divestment sanction bill, kick it out of the law, remove the archaic spiritual influence offense from statute. I know very well what the BDS is, but what is the BDS bill, and what does the UK rule in terms of the boycott movement? UK ban on boycott. Britain wants to ban boycotts of Israel. Does that mean they're working? Boycotts of Israel. What would the consequences be? That's because one failing to speak. I don't know. Too much to read right now. Anti-boycott bill. Pariah state. Win the anti-war. I don't know what the consequences would be of boycotting Israel, but apparently, yeah, it's clearly obviously a pro-Islam, anti-Israel thing here. This is the Muslim vote. If you want to appease with Muslims, you have to oppose Israel, and then you have stupid Nazis coming here and say, "Oh, I know you're talking about Muslim immigration, but you know who's behind it. You know who's behind Muslim immigration? It's the Jews. It's Israel. Yeah, it's Israel. Did you know that? I'm so smart. I figured it all out. I know very well that the Jews and that Israel and the Jews, they want to put as many Muslim people as possible into Western countries so that they can lose all their allies in the West and turn all of them into anti-Semitic strongholds. That's what the Jews want to do. The Jews want to get rid of the Jews. Imbeciles. No, it's too much said. Palestinian chief propagandist Saeb Erekat claimed 10,000 years ties to the land, but his family and clan migrated into the land in the 19th century from Saudi Arabia and Jordan. Lying. That's what they do.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Actually, Palestinians were there when the Big Bang happened, so I wouldn't contest that. No, too much. Love says, David and AP, your show instills courage in me amidst global anti-Semitism. Thank you for being my source of bravery. God bless and thank you.
That bravery is pointless. We are trying to discourage you. We have the spiritual gift of discouragement, and we are trying to make you miserable and depressed because the entire situation is hopeless. Get used to it. You're going to be crushed and subjugated. That's it. That's the only option. It's a matter of time. Move to the US while you can, if you're not here already.
Yeah. What David is actually trying to say, love, is stay strong, and we appreciate your presence here. And David will pray for you, and I will do my best to support you and your stance in the world and your position as much as possible. I wish you all the best, and we will fight because we can. Yeah. Anwar said, ever thought? Yeah. Anwar said, ever thought about a Kristallnacht 2, Night of Broken Glass, Germany, in 1938, transpiring in the US or UK in light of the widespread Palestinian protests? I mean, you have just seen it. What kind of caused this stream to go all in dark mode? It was the issue in Greece, in Athens, where refugees go out and try to attack Israelis. Based Autistic said, when I hear people constantly wanting to talk about crime statistics, but they only ever mention black people, I assume they're racist. If someone is obsessed with only attacking Israel, what are they? They are
based.
That's very offensive. Notice that.
And by the way, as far as that comment's concerned, yeah, that is a telltale sign, right? You could watch the news about a bomb dropped and it hits kids as well, and you could be I'm outraged about that. when that's the only thing in the world that ever outrages you 24/7 and you ignore everything else that's going on in the world, you've got an odd obsession. It seems like there's something else involved other than your concern for people suffering.
Alhamdulillah.
And by the way, it is like that with like I'll see videos. I'll go on Twitter and it'll say like, look at all these black people fighting over here. You see, this is what they do. And I'm like, I'm from West Virginia, so I'm like, that looks exactly like a bunch of white hillbillies getting in a fight at Walmart over something.
Something.
So if you zero in on one thing, it kind of looks like there's something else involved apart from your concern about people fighting or something like that.
Notice that AP anytime David talks about how Europe is screwed, you should play nearer, my God, to thee. It would make it even better. What's that? How does that go?
It doesn't matter. You don't want to sing hymns at a time like this.
I do. Especially now, I want to sing a hymn right now. What if I want to sing it right now?
I'm trying to think of a song that would be good.
Okay. Failed cavalry charge, said David. How can you say the U.S. only has a few years? I already read this, man. Knows too much. Mark Twain and other figures toured the land of Israel before the 20th century. Their writings debunks a lot of the Palestinians' propaganda. Yeah, Mark Twain said that it's a barren, empty land. It's very funny.
No, it was filled with Palestinians.
Most of the land was unpopulated. Much of it was when people complain about settlers or settlements, they're complaining about places that were totally unused in most cases, or places where Jews were kicked out. When they talk about how the kibbutz that were attacked on October 7 were they deserved it because they are on land that doesn't belong to them, they are talking about land that nobody even populated. Land that Jews themselves built homes on, communities on, and so on. Destin AP says, saw a guy in a turban and I walked up to him and said, "You're sick. You're sick." This is the attitude, man. That's the attitude. That's what I'm talking about.
You're sick. You're sick.
Yeah, don't do that. Sikhs are very nice people. Every Sikh is a nice person. See, this was just as bad as saying every Sikh is a bad person. Sneakster said hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. No. Weak men create weak times, and weak times create weak men. And weak times create weak weeks. Dear Wolfie said David be like the West has fallen. Billions must give up. Yeah. He's basically telling you to yes. NES Ivan, Palestine means invaders in biblical Hebrew, Palishtim. I'm still not sure about the whole etymology of that. I think there's a little bit of a disagreement on that. Kaz said, AP, if the West prevails, will he become a Christian? What does it even mean? Like in what when would be the point where I could put a tick on yes, the West has prevailed? Like when could I get a confirmation for the West has prevailed? Let's say I keep a checklist and one of those is the West prevails. When can I actually cross it out? But yes, definitely. Loney Crow said about Egyptians, they hate Israel. Researchers show they are getting ready to a future war in Sinai Desert, digging tunnels and placing S-400 systems. I wouldn't say that. The Egyptians are the most peace-loving people. Mrs. Apostate, my wife, just posted a hymn. Which one is that? What? When Russia fails? When West prevails? When Trump wins? Yeah, sure. Trump is the big hope. Trump is the big hope. Trump will solve all the problems. Trump is the big hope. I won't be surprised if we spend another Trump term talking for 4 years about the most irrelevant, nonsensical things. About how the Democrats are bad. And the Democrats are very, very evil people. Can't trust them. And what about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden? Remember what was in Hunter Biden's laptop? You all know it, frankly. My wife just posted about when the Saints go marching in. See, I know something, David. I just goat said, how many Quran would a goat eat if a goat could eat Quran? This is a good one. David, what's the answer to that?
Well, a goat ate about around 200 verses of Surah 33, so we know at least that many. See, the famous passage that we focus on, Sunan Ibn Majah 1944, which says that Aisha's sheep, or depending on the source, a goat, ate, and it lists some verses, the verse of breastfeeding an adult, the verse of stoning an adulteress. But if you go to Abu Ubaid's Kitab Fada'il al-Quran, Ubay ibn Ka'b said that over 200 verses were lost from that chapter, Surah 33. So, in other words, the goat or sheep didn't just eat those two little verses. He ate a section of the Quran that consisted of around 200 verses of the Quran. So we know at least 200 verses of a Quran could be eaten by a goat with no problem. That's according to Islam, not according to us. If you want to perform the experiment, you'd have to actually perform the experiment, which we have. We haven't posted the footage yet, though.
Yep. Goat noise enjoyer. Hey, what's up? So yesterday when Hamas accepted the deal, they showed people celebrating in Rafah and people looked very well fed. Where did the famine go? But you don't understand. In Gaza, people starve differently. They have been starving since November, actually. The first report that Gaza is on the brink of a famine and that children are starving came out in November. So they have been starving for, well, let's see, December, January, February, March, April, May. They've been starving for 6 months now.
Yeah, but they're like they're like that Benjamin Button dude, but with weight instead of age. It works in reverse there. So the more you starve, the fatter you're going to get.
Yes, that's how it works. That's what they do. Majima Goro, you misread my chat. I said me, a Christian, was killed by Jews yesterday. I said that me. What? I don't know. Goat noise enjoyer. Goat noise enjoyer. Yeah. And Hamas never, by the way, accepted an actual deal. This is one of those instances where people talk about how Jews control the media. Hamas made an announcement saying that they're accepting a hostage deal. What they actually accepted is not what Israel agreed to at all. In fact, they agreed to a deal that was never even shared with Israel. That was never even that Israel was never even, consulted and informed on. Which is basically, in 3 stages, hostages will be released, and Israel then has to go, retreat to this region. At the second stage, Israel has to completely get out and go to the border, and then the deal was basically, we'll stay in power, and Israel will get out, and we'll exchange the hostages. That's not how it works. You started the war. And Israel is going to finish it. You don't get to make the demands. You terrorists. Wardoon says Muslims have the advantage of the Johnny come lately because the Quran tells them who their enemies are by name, while Christians, Jews, and Hindus can't. Yeah, this is why the Quran is a superior book, because it says don't befriend the Jews and Christians, and they are your enemies and all that. Other religions are not like that. They're weak. They're weaklings. David the Goliath. Muslims complain that people look down on Palestinians as lesser people, while they look at non-Muslims as second-class dhimmis. The rank hypocrisy. But Muslims are allowed to do that. You are not. That's that. Jack's peeps are asking to check out Pierce Mossab Hassan new debate. I know that. I just saw earlier that there is a new episode of Mossab Hassan Youssef going on Pierce Morgan. I have to check it out. Fox McCloud said, "In Nick we trust, we are doomed." Yeah, that sounds like a suicide mission directly. Urinating Broom, have you read Section 8 of the list of demands? Section 8. God. Now I remember that. When somebody pointed to Section 8 on the bill that doesn't even exist. Gnome 2 says, Hamas burn fields as tactic and Thunberg approves. Well, Greta Thunberg is an imbecile. Shaky booty Jewish pirate says, jizya money, not a lot, but just chop off my arms. £2 I will just take the fingers. You're fine. You can keep your arms. Urinating Broom, reality is Islamophobic. It's sick. Absolutely. Man.
You're sick. You're sick.
Absolutely. Because Jesus Bible anime says Ahmad ex-Muslims needs help to pay rent for his family. He has a link in his community tab. Expires in 2 days. Can you help him? I don't know who Ahmad ex-Muslim is. I've never heard of Ahmad ex-Muslim.
Yeah, I've heard of him before. I just looked him up. So he is an ex-Muslim Christian in Canada. Apparently, he's had a car accident a while back and has been out of work for a while. I looked up. He got a ton of videos blasting away at
what 55
at Islam.
subscribers?
Pull up to Gabriel's house.
Oh, I saw this account, didn't you? I think I looked at this live at some point.
Yeah. So anyway, he says he's been in a car accident and he's been injured and has been recovering, and he got an eviction notice. He's posted all the details there. But yeah, you can go to Ahmed X Muslim. That's his channel, and there's a community tab, and there's a post there that gives a link to a PayPal.
Oh, he actually posted the receipt, the thing.
Yeah, he posted the info. Yeah, from the landlord and stuff.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah.
So,
yeah, you should help with that, David. You should
you
should post about it and help with it, because that's what you do. Carol B said, "AP, you skipped an important one on the Islamophobia list: loyalty to the Ummah." Did I? Did I really do that? Did I really do that? Revised 18 demands. Islamophobia. Wait a minute. What did you say on the Islamophobia list? Do you mean the definition of Islamophobia? Is that what you're talking about?
Saying you missed one on the list.
Yes, I know, but which list is it? The Islamophobia list? I think that is. Let me see. To the Ummah Thurman. Let's see. Do you mean this one? Do you mean the Islamophobia definition? Loyalty to the Ummah. Next one, entryism or other social institution, Muslim identity having a unique threat, post-demographic threat, being responsible, investing. Accusing Muslim citizens of being more loyal to the Ummah, transnational Muslim community, or to their countries of origin, or to the alleged priorities of Muslims worldwide, than to the interests of their own nations. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah. Again, this is going to make lots of Muslims Islamophobic because they say this and brag about it all the time. And that would make them Islamophobes because they're saying they're more loyal to the Ummah than to their nation.
This just confirms my speculation that they are doing this to make it look like, oh, they're doing this with Israel. How about we do this for Muslims? Because it has been a thing to accuse Jews of having dual loyalty to Israel and things like that. But how in the world does that make sense? This is not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. Not at all the same thing. I mean, as a Christian, you can say, I am Christian first and American second, right? That's fine. That doesn't mean you are disloyal. It means that you value your religious identity or your religious beliefs more than the secular country, for example. That's fine. That's all right. A Jewish person can say, I'm Jewish first and American second. A Muslim person can say, I'm Muslim first and American second. But we know that Muslims have the ideology of being loyal to the Ummah first. And in fact, this is I'm sorry, but this is a fact. This is a fact. I lived as a Muslim in a non-Muslim country. I interacted with Muslims, and this is the common idea among Muslims in non-Muslim countries, that they are first and foremost loyal to the Ummah and not the country that they live in. This is a fact, and Muslims themselves will confirm this. Who in the hell decided on this? This is just. I don't want to say what this is. I have very strong opinions today, and I don't want to speak no more. I don't want to speak anymore on this stuff. Caleb Worku, is AP joining you and IP on Thursday debunking hijab on IP's channel? Anthony Rogers being there like the Ali Dawa debunking vid would be cool as well. I do not know. Nobody told me about that.
Yeah, not as far as I know. IP said he wants to go through Hijab's video, and he asked if I want to join him, and I said yes. So that's all the details I have right now. I haven't even seen Muhammad Hijab's video, so I'm not even sure what we're going through yet. But I know he posted. I think it's that Turkish one with those Turkish dudes. So tell us why Christianity is so stupid and why Islam is so great. We are giving you this hard question.
Beast. David the skeptic said physical attacks on a critic of Muhammad or Islam show that Muslims believe that their God isn't big enough to fight his own battles. Well, Allah is a mouse. He's not expected to be big enough to fight his own battles. Some guy says, if it makes you feel better, AP, most of the Muslim men I know personally don't take Islam very seriously. I'm in my 20s. I guess there's always something to appreciate. Unfortunately, the fact that the Muslim vote is becoming a serious issue in places like the UK doesn't make it better. Sid Dave said we will eventually all become Islamic like Dune. We will go to space and perform Ramadan to the Earth, moon from the Islamic colony on Mars. Even alien xenomorph and predators will become Muslims. This is true. Chloe L. Matt Wood, if you're still watching, you disappoint me big time. You were my hero. I wanted to also stand up to a Muzo crowd and let everyone know truth, but you blame Jews for what Muzo hate march do. WTF, bro. Oh, yeah.
That is the reaction of several of us.
That is a very, very mildly put reaction. Yes. Gwyneth Isaacs' Nearer My God was banned on the Titanic's last song.
That was the one they were playing on the way down.
I watched it 50,000 times, so I should remember that.
I've still never seen it.
Gnome to Hamas deal was also to release dead hostages. Yeah, and I think they also changed the definition of hostages. I think they changed the wording from where they made it ambiguous whether the hostages are alive or not. There's clearly something going on.
So you'd say, and in exchange for this, we will return such and such number of hostages, whether living or dead, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And let's see what the news on this one say. As of recent, Jerusalem Post, Hamas agreed to a deal. What does it mean? Phase 1. Actually, you know what? Let's just go through this quickly. David, do you have any time, or do you need to go sometime soon?
Good till about 10.
Okay. Jerusalem Post. Phase 1 of the deal. Phase 1 would include a 42-day ceasefire period alongside the freeing 33 Israeli hostages by Hamas,
alive
or dead. In return, Israel would release 30 Palestinian children and women for each released Israeli hostage.
Released hostage. 30-to-1 ratio. Ahmadinejad's complaining about his 100-to-1 ratio, and here you have them wanting a 30-to-1 ratio.
30 for each. Based on lists provided by Hamas according to the earliest date of detention.
Yeah, notice this: alive, or dead. So what are they saying? They're saying we could give you 33 dead bodies, and you have to give us 30 times that number of living Palestinian women and children.
Yeah. Of course, you have to ask the question why those women and children are detained to begin with. Starting from the first day of the ceasefire, there would be the entry of intensive and sufficient quantities of humanitarian aid, relief materials, and fuel, 600 trucks per day, including 50 fuel trucks, of which 300 are for the north, including the fuel necessary for operating the power plant, trade, and equipment needed for rubble removal, rehabilitation and operation of hospitals, health centers, and bakeries in all areas of the Gaza Strip, and the continuation of this in all stages of the agreement.
I already wouldn't go for this at all.
It's ridiculous. Right?
It's beyond ridiculous. I would say, I got a better plan. How about I continue until Hamas is wiped out, and then we'll talk.
Yeah. I would just say,
how about no?
Hamas would release 3 Israeli hostages on the third day of the agreement and then release 3 more hostages every 7 days, prioritizing women if possible, including civilians and conscripts. In the 6th week, Hamas will release all remaining civilian hostages covered by this phase. In exchange, Israel will release the agreed number of Palestinian prisoners in Israeli prisons according to the lists that will be provided by Hamas.
We're going to give you a list of which prisoners we want you to release. Yeah, this guy who slaughtered all those Jews, yeah, he's on the list. Give him back, and we'll give you this dead body. Matter of fact, we want this guy and 29 of his terrorist buddies who all join in this terrorist attack. We want all of those in exchange for this dead body.
I think there are rumors, I'm not sure if it's actually known, that they want to also demand the release of a very, very special individual known as Marwan Barghouti, who is imprisoned because he was convicted of multiple murders. And he is a leader, a political leader, who could reignite some really, really bad things. He was part of the Second Intifada. He's regarded as a leader of the First and Second Intifadas. Okay, but actually, wait a minute. For phase 1, it's only children and women. Okay. Regarding military operations, Israel is to partially withdraw troops from Gaza.
How about no?
And allow the free movement of Palestinians from South to North Gaza. The IDF is to cease military flights over the Gaza Strip for 10 hours per day and 12 hours on the day of releasing the hostages and prisoners. On the third day, after releasing the first Palestinian prisoners, the Israeli forces will completely withdraw from Al-Rashid Street in northern Gaza, and all military sites will be dismantled.
How about no?
On the 22nd day of the first phase, Israeli forces will withdraw from the center of the Strip east of Salah ad-Din Road to an area near the Israeli border. Can you imagine? You commit a brutal attack where you indiscriminately, deliberately target, anything that moves, anyone who moves, and kill them, torture them, set them on fire, rape them, take hostage, and so on. You start a war thereby, and you announce this greatly, saying this is the beginning of the end of the Zionist entity. Then you lose badly. Your place is almost completely destroyed. You are pushed into a corner, and you're like, okay. How about we make a deal? You leave, and we get everything we want. Phase 2. Following phase 1 would be another 42-day period that features an agreement to restore a sustainable calm to Gaza, language that an official briefed on the talks said Hamas and Israel had agreed in order to take discussion of a permanent ceasefire off the table. This phase would include the complete withdrawal of most Israeli troops from Gaza, and Hamas would release Israeli reservists and some soldiers in return for Israel releasing Palestinians from jail. complete withdrawal of most Israeli troops.
How about no?
Phase 3 would involve the completion of exchanging bodies and the beginning of reconstruction according to the plan overseen by Qatar, Egypt, and the United Nations. There would be the end of the complete blockade on the Gaza Strip and the start of the implementation of a 3 to 5 year plan for reconstruction in the Gaza Strip.
How about no?
Including homes, civilian facilities, and infrastructure, and compensation for all those affected under the supervision of a number of countries and organizations, including Egypt, Qatar, and the United Nations.
How about no?
I can completely see why Israel said, you know what? Go F yourselves. We are going in. That's how it works. That's what you do. I mean, just for even making the suggestion of this ridiculous deal here, Israel should just go all in. Chloe L said, Matt, which I already read this. What's wrong with you? Radical cleric AP David Wood, have you guys seen the gaslighting German anti-groping at public pools propaganda? Stop Grabschen verboten. Have you guys seen the gaslighting German anti-groping at public pools propaganda? Stop Grabschen verboten.
Is that the one? Is that the ones where they're actually trying to deal with Muslim immigrants, trying to tell them to stop groping, but they'll always make it like when they give pictures of what this is, they'll just give like regular Germans doing the groping, and because they can't specify.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that the one? I've seen stuff like that. I've seen examples of stuff like that where the country's worried about something that the Muslim immigrants are doing, but they can't say it's Muslim immigrants, so they have to have just regular people from the country doing it to say, don't do this. This isn't allowed. Yeah, there you go. See, it's a white guy. Worry about that white guy doing all the groping at the public pools.
As we know, the white guys, the regular German guys, are the ones who do all the groping everywhere.
Shame on those Germans.
When these Germans came into the country,
well, if this girl didn't want to be groped, then she should be wearing a burkini.
Yeah, all these terrible blonde German immigrants come and they see these relatively brown brunette girls in pools and they grope them because they think it's normal where they come from. Shame on them. Shame on them. I mean, what am I supposed to say? This just makes me think once again the thing that I said at the very beginning, which is that Western people are stupid. This is not being put out by some by the Islamic nations around the world. This is being put out by Germans. Paulo Longaro said, "Let's get David to laugh. The seriousness is real. We don't laugh here." Pay everybody. Yeah, David, why are you so serious, man? What's happening?
What? I don't want to give the impression that there's any degree of hope for anything ever.
But there is no hope. But why would you make it look like there is no hope?
Well, people need to be realistic.
Okay, there is a super chat I asked earlier. Zane said, "Curb your atheism, AP. You're missing too many super chats." I don't know what you're talking about.
He's gone through every super chat like 17 times.
Yeah. Is there actually something wrong here? Because there is an extraordinary amount of super chats today for some reason. I don't know why, which is very much appreciated and very helpful and very good and very nice and very interactive, and I love it. However, people have been saying earlier backlog super chats, something like that. I don't know if something is happening here, but I'm trying to go through all of them. Yes. As the best Hitchens said, the UK is a doomed society for young people. And my advice for anyone young enough is to do so is to emigrate while they still can. Yeah. Yeah. All British people should move to Pakistan to live a better life. Because England is doomed.
Find a spot, ladies and gentlemen. Find some spot. Won't last, but find one.
There are many places to pick to go to. Pakistan. You can go to Turkey, Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt. Lots of places to escape the Islamization.
Hey, your mic's getting staticky again.
How about now?
Good.
How about now?
Is that good?
Will banning mosques help slow down the Islamization of the West? Good luck with that.
No.
Zayn said, curb your atheism, AP. I already read this. What's wrong with you? Noam2 said 30-1 means Israel is racist as they value an Israeli life 30 times more than a Palestinian life.
Yeah, they do that. That's a criticism that actually gets raised. So whenever there are negotiations about exchanging hostages, the Palestinians or Hamas will demand, okay, if you want us to release this one guy that we've got captive, then you have to release 100 guys or 150 of our guys or something. And Israel will eventually agree to it to get their one guy back, because that's how much they care about their one guy. And then when they do that, when they accept the demands, ridiculous demands, but they do it anyway to get their guy back, then critics will say, oh, you see this? Israel thinks a Jew is worth 100 Palestinian lives.
Not wrong.
Or that a cow is worth the same as 1.6 billion.
There was an incident that is very well known in Israel in 2014. An Israeli soldier was taken captive, Gilad Shalit.
Yeah, they had him for a long time.
Yeah, and they for one soldier, they exchanged 1,027 prisoners.
1,000. You see how racist they are.
At least Hamas is aware of the worth of their own people versus an Israeli person. Hamas themselves agree that one Israeli soldier is worth 1,027 Palestinians. So there you go. It's not me saying it. It's them saying it. Noam2 said, how is it in Germany with Muslim demographics? UK and France have had a history of Muslim colonies for centuries, so it makes sense they have sizable numbers. With Germany,
I've got it right here. So you have in the Pew study that gives the demographics and so on, and the projections by 2050, and there are variables. There are variables there. So you have the population now, and then even within the population now, you have some that are actually have been granted citizenship, and you have others that haven't been granted citizenship. So there's a variable in the sense that some people could, in theory, be sent back or something like that. And then there is the question of how much immigration is there going to be in the coming decades? Is there going to be none? So they'll say that as like the minimum for projection. What if all immigration stopped right now? What would the projection for the future be? Or if there's sort of an average amount of immigration, or if there's a high amount of immigration. I suspect there's going to be a high amount of immigration, because as the places become more Islamized and you have more Muslim politicians and more politicians who have to align with the Muslim community, then they demand more and more and more and more and more. But the high projections by 2050, so you're talking 25 years from now, it's right around the corner. The projection, according to Pew Research, is that by 2050, Germany will be 19.7% Muslim. So right around 20%. Sweden will be 30% Muslim population. France, 18%. The UK, 17%. So these, and keep in mind when it says 20%, that doesn't mean like they're going to be spread evenly throughout the country. You'll have cities that are like 80% Muslim, and then you'll have other areas that are like small percentage Muslim and so on. So yes, that is projection within 25 years, 20% Muslim population in Germany, 17% Muslim population in the UK, 18% Belgium, 15% Netherlands, 16% Denmark. Interestingly, Poland, 0.2% projected. Czech Republic, 1.2%. Slovakia, 0.7%. Hungary, 4.5%. Romania, 0.9%. Why is
I'm
Andrew
also
Tate
hung-
living there? Why is Andrew Tate living there? Lithuania, 0.2%. Latvia, 0.4%. Estonia, 1%. So those countries looks like will hold out a little longer. But once the population of all the surrounding nations are 20%, 25%, 30% Muslim, you're going to give in, Poland. So get out while you can.
What is this
Everyone
comment?
move to the U.S. to make your last stand here.
What is this comment? It says, "Bro, you always bring up Sharia courts in UK." First off, I never bring them up. I just read them because they were on the screen, but never mention Sharia courts in Israel. LOL. Ha ha ha. Political motives detected. I don't actually understand what you're trying to say, Islam Unraveled. Are you trying to say that Israel is actually good to you Muslims? I don't get the point here.
Yeah, we got it here. Israel's bending over backwards to give us everything we want. You see? You see? In your face. Political motives.
Israel is giving religious institutions.
You
including-
criticize the UK. You criticize the UK for allowing Sharia courts, but you won't criticize Israel for having Sharia courts and for doing everything that we want them to do, which is why Muslims are so happy in Israel. Ha ha! In your face with your political motives, AP.
I don't even get it. It's like Israel is bending over backwards for
Dude, you just
forever
got schooled.
now.
Admit it. Dude,
Forever
admit it. You
now.
just got schooled. He schooled you. He exposed your political motives. And
I know. I never talk about how good Israel is to Muslims.
yeah, you don't talk. You know, yeah, you don't even talk because of your political agenda. You never talk about how good Israel is to Muslims, the Muslim population.
Man. Israel is better to Muslims than their Allah is to them. That's true. That's true. CJ, 3 things. Stop bringing refugees. Instead, bring Christian
help.
refugees. Stop giving
No, give it up.
visas to Muslims. Stop giving by
Too late.
birth citizenship.
Too
Many
late.
Muslims and Asians give birth to kids in the US just for citizenship. Middle East, dude, don't do any of these.
It's too late. Give up, CJ. Get
CJ,
out
don't
while
you?
you still can.
CJ, didn't you hear what Mohammed Hijab said? He said, "There's nothing you can do. Deal with it, or leave."
Sign the Dhimmi contract or get out.
I like looking at funny stuff like this. Egyptian atheist made his post, said, "Fascinating.
Fascinating.
I saw the Prophet eating chicken."
Powerful hadith.
Um,
And then I saw Abu Musa sucking on his fingers.
Sucking on a finger.
The Prophet's fingers.
Yeah.
We already did this demographic question.
Egyptian atheist is one of the funniest and most based and bestest accounts that I follow on Twitter. Would always recommend following this guy on Twitter. In it. Oh, here, look at this. Look at this. Look at how George Washington is being made more beautiful by putting all these flags and stickers on him and putting a keffiyeh on him. Wow, so beautiful. So beautiful. Maybe Trump can solve this by coming into office and saying, "Well, the Democrats, Joe Biden, terrible people. Hunter Biden." A urinating broom said, reminder that Mohijab actually thought that his cringe recitation of the Quran would have had a supernatural effect on Jordan Peterson and his viewers. That was the best video ever, man. That was the best thing ever. In fact, I want to have a look at it right here. We're going to have a look at it right here, where Mohammed Hijab beautifully recited the Quran to Jordan Peterson, and Jordan Peterson was absolutely fascinated, like this. Oh wait,
How are they noble? The attributes of God.
Also,
How are they noble?
I was looking at Sam Shimon.
The attributes of God, how are they knowable? Is that only through relationship with the book? Does that also have an experiential element as far as
هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الله عما يشركون.
Why approach the answer to my question in that manner? I don't understand the language. What purpose does that serve in a discussion with someone like me? How do you know when that's appropriate and when it's not?
Oh shit! Yeah, shouldn't play this song. Yeah. That was one of the best moments of Dawa. It was the perfect move.
That was when Jordan Peterson converted.
Yeah.
Remember all those Muslim messages? Oh, Jordan Peterson's ready to cry upon hearing the Quran. So powerful.
See, that's the dumb thing. Muhammad Hijab actually published that section on his own channel and put Jordan Peterson dramatically on the screen, and on the thumbnail it says, "It is Allah," like as if somebody was saying that. It's just something that the Quran says where he recites it, and making it look like, oh yeah, he's going to convert to Islam. Look how he's amazed by the Quran. Okay, what exactly happens when time passes and nothing, and Jordan Peterson doesn't get fascinated? On the contrary, he says,
How about no? I don't buy your Allah.
what now? He just backfired on you. Yeah. And there we have it. David Wood committing suicide on camera. Destiny AP said, every time I see German posted, let us look AI generated. That's because you can't read the superior language of the German people. Arya V, hey AP, where did you get that voice in your soundboard that said Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam?
That's from his video.
It's from my
from
video.
the Prophet Tales?
Yeah, it's from my Prophet Tales video. Yes. Which, by the way, is cancelled until further notice. Just so everyone knows. Because of complications in collaboration with Saitin, who helped me make the episode. Because of political views. Yeah. But that's where it's from. It's called The Prophet Tales, Episode 1. Go watch it. There's only one episode. Alejandro Sudiro said, AP, what keeps you going in criticizing Islam when you know it is useless since the non-Muslims will not do anything? It's just the money that I get from
It is useless. Here's why.
Shekels keep me going. Otherwise, I don't care. I know it's all over. It's over. But the shekels, Mossad sends me the shekels, and they're like, "Hey, we know it's not going to work out, but have some shekels." And we know it's all hopeless, but have these shekels.
Yeah, everything is going to inevitably collapse. It's necessary. It's straightforward mathematics and physics. But if we get enough shekels in the meantime, we can get some underground bunker where we can hide from the rest of the world. So,
yeah. And if you want to know more about that, you should watch the show Fallout, which recently came to Amazon Prime, based on the game, the Fallout series. I will tell you everything about that. Very realistic stuff. Nikki said Francisco Gil White was just on a podcast called On the Israel-Iran War and the Future of the West. Everyone in the West needs to watch this. I don't know who Francisco is, though. I know who Francisco Franco is. I need to check it out. I'll see that. I'll have a look. I'll have a look. Thank you. I'll have a look. Knows too much said Gilad Shalit deal was terrible, supported by zero foresight, idiots and weak leaders. The result cost the lives many more people, encouraged terrorism. No, it was done by Israelis. It was done by Jews, and they know what they're doing. They're smartest people, and they are behind all of the stuff that's going on in the world. So stop saying this.
Yeah, those are always extremely difficult decisions to make. If terrorists or something take, let's suppose a terrorist takes your wife hostage or something like that. You want your wife back, but if you actually meet their demands and they give your wife back, you've just basically encouraged them that taking hostages or kidnapping is a good way to get what they want, and so you're setting up more problems for the future. But at the same time, it's your wife. You want your wife back. And so that I've said this a million times going through these. Islam puts you in positions where no matter what you do, the outcome is bad. So if you meet the demands, you get your wife back and so on. Bad implications for the future, or they just keep your wife, and that sucks too. And so either way, you're just screwed. Is what Islam does, but there's nothing you can do about it except just give in entirely and move to the U.S. and get a bunker and get a bunch of like those 25-year ration cans of rations. Get like those meals that last 25 years, and you can store them. Fill your underground bunker with that and a lot of water.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Yes. Nom to Francisco is the man of the Franciscana Biologo, the Jew that holds the key to the world. Oh, that's funny. Okay, I'll check it out. Check it out. Paolo Lungaro says, AP David, back in 1999, a high Muslim person speaking to the AP David, back in 1999, a high Muslim person speaking to the Christians one point said very calmly, thanks to your democratic laws, we will invade you. Thanks to our religious laws, we will dominate you. Google it. Who said that? Do you know about that? You know who that was?
No, but I've heard things like that before.
Who said that? Middle East Forum posted it. Who was that? Somebody said somewhere, sometime.
Imam of Izmir.
Yeah. Of Izmir. He said, during an official meeting on Islamic Christian dialogue, an authoritative Muslim person speaking to the Christian participating at one point said very calmly and assuredly, thanks to your democratic laws, we will invade you. Thanks to our religious laws, we will dominate you. This is to be believed because dominion has already begun with petrodollars, used not to create work in the poor North African or Middle Eastern countries, but to build mosques and cultural centers in the Christian countries with Islamic immigration, including Rome, the center of Christianity. How can we ignore in all of this a clear program of expansion and reconquest? This article is from 1999. I bet there were people back then who thought, oh no, this is just paranoia. 25 years ago. Wow. 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 This is what we're talking about. December 1999. During an official meeting on Islamic Christian dialogue, an authoritative Muslim person speaking to the Christians participating at one point said very calmly and assuredly, thanks to your democratic laws, we will invade you. Thanks to our religious laws, we will dominate you. And so on. Yeah. 1995. Time flies. I'm sure nothing like that will happen. This is me in 1999. Oh, what? Muslims? Dominating? Building mosques in the West? Nah. No, don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Nobody wants to do that. And Muslims are just like Christians and just like atheists. They don't want to do anything like that. Okay. King Odin says, not like us. I know this is a very important issue that we haven't talked about here on this channel yet. Although this is a very serious stage of the war that everyone is talking about and that we must go into at some point. We don't know if this war will escalate or not between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. However, at this point, everything looks all right. David, anything else you want to add? There's no point
just
in it.
besides you're all doomed.
Yeah.
But I'll have a
But before you actually make people think that you meant all of that and you caused people to die tonight, do you want to say something different?
No.
See, no heart. No heart
Not
at all. Apostate Prophet, did you watch Rebecca's debate with Christian Prince? What? Rebecca's debate with Christian Prince? I don't believe that such a thing happened. Yes. My wife said, "Are you not going to cover the shooting at Drake's mansion today?" Did it happen? I'm laughing about it, but it would be funny if it actually happened. It wouldn't be funny if it actually happened. What I mean when I say funny is everything.
security
Yeah.
guard shot at Drake's Toronto mansion.
Really?
Drake's security guard seriously injured in shooting at Toronto mansion.
Really? Oh. Drake house shooting, police investigating, shooting outside Drake's Toronto mansion, injured. That's funny. I didn't know that there was actually something serious happening. I was just joking about the serious situation. Police investigating shooting outside Drake's mansion that left security guard wounded. Authorities did not confirm whether Drake was at home at the time of the shooting, but said his team is cooperating. The shooting happened around 2 a.m. Tuesday in the affluent Bridle Path neighborhood of Toronto. In recent weeks, Drake has been engaged in a rap feud with Kendrick Lamar, with each artist dropping diss tracks against the other. Yeah, I have been unironically following the beef, actually, between them and listening to the songs. Where I must say, Drake is extremely poor. And Kendrick sounds like a genius. But I didn't know about this at all. Had no idea that that's going on. La 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 la. Anyway, now that it gets violent, maybe I can cover it. Okay.
It's escalating.
I tried to look at all the super chats. I skipped some deliberately, actually. Some that were a little bit crazy coming from certain people, but I tried to go into everything that I saw here. But I think
Drake was on Degrassi. Is that true? Someone just posted in the chat and said Drake was on Degrassi. You won't remember that. There was a show called Degrassi Junior High. In the classes, when teachers didn't want to teach anything, they would just show us episodes of Degrassi Junior High.
That sounds terrible.
Back in junior high. And it was about all these difficulties that kids go through, but you learn your lessons by watching these other kids, so then you know what to do in your school. You're like, hey man, someone's offering me drugs. What do I do? And then
yeah, that's interesting. That's funny. Anyway, what wheelchair?
Yeah, he was on Degrassi.
Yeah, in a wheelchair at the end. Drake was in a wheelchair. He was the kid in a wheelchair. I don't know anything about this.
What do we do when a kid is here in a wheelchair? Do we treat him differently? It'll be something like that.
I don't know nothing about that. Diddy's song is different now. Yeah, hell yeah, he was. This is funny. Maybe I should just take a break from talking about the war and Islamization and stuff like that, and just review the beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
It'd be more relevant to actually changing what can still be changed.
Because I feel really sick right now too about stuff. And yeah, Ingrid Schiller said that sounds good to me. AP David, huh? Okay, I'm kind of glad I don't know. Said Juice. It was a teen drama show, not educational. See, Roman says drama show.
It was educational. They would show you there's supposed to be a takeaway. That's why they would show that crap to us in schools. If you're like in some class where you had some class that were basically just to keep kids occupied for that, and they weren't trying to teach you anything, and they would just show you episodes of Degrassi. But You would learn lessons from the show.
Yeah. Drake was the wheelchair. Okay. We got it. Molly's mom said, David, did you learn anything?
No, when they would do that, I would learn more about like teachers and so on, and like what kind of classes these were, where you go in there and then the teacher just pushes play on the VCR to play you episodes of Degrassi, and I'm sitting there thinking, why are we here right now? Just, I mean, you could tell us to watch this at home or something.
Zane said Rebecca networking like a champ. I know she's going. She's doing a lot of stuff. I'm kind of surprised.
I told her if she put in the work, she could blow up.
That's what I told her, man.
But not in an Islamic way.
Yeah. So that's good to see that she's doing stuff. That's very, very good. She's at 6,000 subscribers. When we were there, she had 100. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Keep in mind that's a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
she got thousands of subscribers in a couple months.
Yeah, she's doing well. I'm proud of that.
This man has real problems.
Oh, wrong button. Sorry.
We're proud of that.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Tomorrow I will make a live stream in which I will review what my wife said Degrassi was about how to abuse and manipulate people. Really? Oh, that's interesting. I should watch that. Then I can finally learn to become a real manipulator. No such thing as bad press on both sides. Yeah. I know AP and so on. Yes. Tomorrow I will do a live stream in which I will review Kendrick Lamar and Drake to get more into serious stuff instead of focusing on all this nonsense. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Have a fantastic day. And
you're all doomed. You're all doomed. So it doesn't matter if you stay away from Islam or not. Let's be realistic here.
BBL, Jake Shields complaining about Tim Pool ghosting him about how he's going on this show was wow. Jake said he lies like a Jew. I know. You know what? I said this yesterday as well, and David did too before. But right now it's trendy to hate Jews. Right now it's in fashion to be a Nazi, to be a Jew hater, to say all kinds of terrible things about Jews. It's normalized. It's you can get away with it, and people just accept it because of the whole Israel thing. This war will be over. This war will be over, and things will return to normal. And all those people who spent this entire time being full-on Nazis and Jew haters will then try to get back to, oh, I didn't mean that.
Your tweets are forever. Your tweets are forever, ladies and gentlemen. If you're praising Hitler or you lie like a Jew, the tweets are forever, folks.
And I just want to, I hope that people keep this in mind, especially Jews and those standing with Jews and against the whole Nazi nonsense that is going on. And when things return to normal and all of these full-on Nazis then go like, oh, hell, I didn't really mean that. I hope you remember not to forgive them and not to forget that. Because this is serious stuff. With that said, have a fantastic day. And as always, don't be like the British people. Don't be like the British losers.
Stay away from Islam.